I want you to go back, do a proper research on this, and you can come back and argue your case. And Roy, the mic is yours. Oh, sorry, there's an individual. Roy, hold your thought for a minute, please. There's an individual here. Idu, the mic is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mindset. I've been raising my hand for so long. Actually, I listen to your space most of the time. I don't come to the speaker section. However, I decided to come to the speaker section today because of Ogun, what again? Ogun Day. Sorry if I butchered your name. Well, I'm in the IT. I work with the tech company, especially within the AI. It's so insulting. Like it's someone saying, "Amupitan, I am INEC chairman, is not the owner of that account." Why every digital footprint is pointing towards it? There is people were trying to make what do you call it, password recovery. This is how password recovery works. If that particular email address or phone number is not tied to that account, it says it doesn't exist, or it's not even in a database, because it has to be in the database in the first place before your request can be called. And when you make that request and it finds that information in database, then the request will be granted. And when the request is granted, then it will ask you to go with the next steps that you need to carry out that particular task. So for somebody to come here to say that this thing is a propaganda, and at the same time, this person is a teacher that is teaching our next generation, I wonder. Seriously, I don't act like I'm just short of words. It's really, we have a huge problem. It's because it's very, very painful. Like if you can hear it from the sound of my voice, this person is teaching kids, and but that's just what I want to say, that from every digital footprint, that account 100% belong to the INEC chairman, and even from the utterances that came out from the Senate president also validated that as well. So, like he has said before, that he doesn't know, and I think he should stick by that he doesn't really know. And it's just, and science is not about, I believe, if not, science is absolute. Science is not belief. You know it, it's knowing, and that is how it is. Thank you very much, Mindset.
All right, thank you very much, Idu. I believe I pronounced your name properly, sir. If not, can you correct me how to pronounce your name? Okay,
It's correct. Thank you.
Yourself, Sam, sorry, Big Sam, Roy, and I believe was Okunade. Okunade say he has he's not an expert, but at least he has an idea of what IT is all about. I do not know anything about IT. All I can tell you is how to use my phone and do some basic things. This is why I'm not really much into, the footprint. There's this language that some of you have used on this platform. I don't know those things. But one thing I can tell you, even the little I know, if you go with what INEC put out there, it killed everything. Whether you're an IT expert or you're not an IT expert, they just make the, they mess the whole thing up. You don't have to be an IT expert to go back to what the last communique from INEC. It tells you everything you need to know, that these guys are just lying. And they are compromised. So, right? But I'm happy you mentioned the Senate president. He said even when he made that comment, he's not. Let's leave that for now. I am saying it publicly. Those who know this guy, I don't know him, I've not met him before. Those who knew him and who I spoke with when he was appointed, I said, okay, we have a new INEC chairman. What do you think about this guy? Okay, we work together. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria. He's a professor, in Jos and whatever. He's a decent person and everything. They know him very well. When this problem we are facing right now, this issue of his email, his phone number, I went back. I said, don't know anything about this. Can you guys? The simple answer is very clear. The account belongs to him. So I'm not sure what else anybody wants me to believe. These are the people who told me that this guy is a decent person. Why would they lie about him? Right? They didn't say when he was appointed he's a bad person. They said he's a good person, and I took their word for it. I said, okay, we figured out what this guy is. Some individuals are telling you this thing belongs to this man. So I mean, Okunda, please, I want you to go and do more research on this and come back. And as you said, we are all here to learn, right? But thank you very much for your contribution. On that, Sam, please do hold your thought for a minute. We do have new speakers. Let me pass the mic to Ayodele. Ayo, the mic is yours. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Ayodele, the mic is yours.
Good morning, Mindset. Good morning, everyone on this space. I hope I'm loud and clear.
Yes, you are, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Okunade. I greet you specially this morning. You see, I'm not an IT specialist, but I have common sense. I'm sorry to use that word. I have common sense. You see, when you look at the timeline of this issue, Amupito, no one knows. I'm sorry to use these words. Mindset, I'm sorry, just pardon me. No one knows who the hell or who the heck Amupiton was in 2022 or 2023. No one knows him, aside maybe a student in the university. No one knows him in Nigeria. As in, it's not well known in Nigeria. He is just like a you and me. As a matter of fact, I may say Mindset is even more popular than him on the social media. Now, when you are now trying to tell me that they hacked his account, I beg your pardon. You, Mr. Okwande, who has hacked your account since you create this Twitter account? Who has hacked your account? Because I don't, what is the issue with us in Nigeria? Why is it that integrity and consciousness or conscientiousness is a very scarce commodity amongst us Nigerians? Why? And you see people defending what is absurd, telling me that they backdate. What do they backdate? Did they backdate that your Israel victory is sure? They also backdated that one, where it now said, what did that Israel victory is sure or something? Did they backdate that one tweet also? Because if you are saying that they backdated Amupiton's tweet, that means they also act that Israel's tweet. Now, even now, the new account that he is using, the only account he's following is that Israel. So what are you now telling me? See, ba soto aku, ba si soto aku, which means that if we tell the truth, we die. And if we choose to stay by the side of the devil, we also die. But one day will be one day. Will you be known for telling a truth and dying by your truth? Or you want to be known for being a chronic liar? See, Amunpiton is not your brother. No one hates Amunpiton. I don't hate him. But in all this issue, for once, he has not deemed it fit to come out to address the issue himself. You see, I said, I'm sorry, there's something very particular about Nigerian politicians and Nigerian elites. Whenever they are caught red-handed, they are caught in a corner. Instead of them to address the issue, they will now be pushing people to you. It is now people that it is we Nigerians that will now be defending them. We will not allow them to talk themselves. We will not allow the horse to say what is I see. In all these issues, since this issue came out, Amupita has not come out to talk himself. It is the people in power, the APC and whatever, that are defending him. So this points to one thing, that he is not a person of integrity. Because if he's a person of integrity, he would, if he has that conscience to deliver, even, let's forget the fact that it was Tinubu that appointed him. But if he has that conscience to deliver a free and fair election, he would have come out himself to say, this. Yes, I was a party member of this then, but it was before I was appointed. But now I'm no longer partisan, even though I was then a partisan member of the ruling party. Fine, everything would have died down. But this, they keep digging hole every day. They keep telling Nigerians that waka, go and do your worst. That is what I see. They keep telling us that go and do your worst. Yes, go and do your worst. And I want to see whether it will go scot-free or whether justice will prevail. And for anyone here that wants to defend him, no. You can't. If you try to defend him, I'm sorry, you are just being stupid, irrespective of the level of education that you have acquired. Whether you are an IT person or you are not an IT person, you cannot defend him, because with the little knowledge I have, no one has hacked my account because I'm inconsequential. You can only be hacked if you are carrying, if you are someone that is very influential or that is carrying some information that are very cogent or critical to national documents. Thank you, Mindset.
Okay, thank you very much, Ayo. You know the reason I raised my hand, right? People have the right to defend him if they want to. You know, because we only have one individual here. I don't want him to feel like we are saying he's stupid, right? He said he's here to learn as well. So it's our job to educate him and make him understand that this is the situation of things, and you have to, right? So we've got to be very, very mindful. But I agree with you that you know, whether we take it to Mars, we take it to Jupiter, at the end of the day, based on the little we know, and I'm very pleased that you said you don't know much about IT. Same with myself, but it's very clear that this account belongs to this man, right? This account belongs to this man. And the best thing to do right now is for him to respectfully get out, right? But thank you, Ayo, for your submission. Do we still have any other person who would like to contribute to the conversation? Okay, Dr. AI, you raised your hand. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Master. Thank you so much for this. You don't even need to be an IT person to decipher or to know that the account belong to him, right? The email, the phone number was there, linked to that account, and the two-factor authentication was done. And if someone wants to do a two-factor authentication with your phone number, you're going to receive a text, you're going to receive a message that, hey, verify this. Two-factor authentication is also there. So the least he could have done was, you know what? I wasn't, you know, I was like you. He's a private citizen, so he has that. He's at liberty to support whoever he wants to support. But coming out to deny, you know, it's a no-brainer. It doesn't make any sense. And he said that in the interview he had with Dr. This Arise TV guy, what's his name? He said he reads, you know, there was this time he reads a court judgment or something on the social media. There, he granted an interview during the issue of the ADC, blah blah blah, and he granted an interview, right, to Ruben Abati, that he uses social media to which accounts. And if his account was hacked or something, why has he not raised the alarm long before now? It doesn't make any sense. As someone who holds a position of authority, right, like INEC chairman, right, should have come out and say it out, like have a disclaimer out there. He didn't. So, and it doesn't make any sense. So he should resign. Whoever wants to defend him, I wish you guys good luck. But if Amopitan still has any iota of integrity, I think he should just retire, because I don't think he should, because I don't think he should remain as the INEC chairman. And this was someone they appointed, and they made us believe that he has the integrity, he has the legal background, and he knows the law, and that will ensure electoral integrity. And here we are, something as little as this. He's just dilly-dallying. He's just playing around. He should resign. We don't trust him. And yeah, even you could see, ideally, if I were him, if truly his account was, he should have granted an interview within the first 24 hours or 48 hours to grant an interview. You understand? And why the back and forth, like the dial Israel, it's a whole lot, you understand? But to cut long story short, and Peter can do better, he should honorably resigned. Yeah, shown that okay, he's partisan, and the position he even took against some of the interfering in also opposition political party internal affairs shows something. We are also recovering from that before even this account scandal even came up. If he can't be trusted in these little things, is it the bigger thing, the 2027 elections that he will be trusted with? No, he can't be trusted. I yield.
Thank you very much, Dr. AI, for your submission. I think my position now has moved from the INEC chairman. I'm talking about the whole INEC as a body, because one, how we started this whole thing was what the INEC chairman did, right? But the position that INEC has taken by defending him shows that the INEC itself as a body is compromised. So people can still believe that he can resign, he should get out, but INEC as a body, I do not trust him. That's my position. We have Dr. Croc. Please, if you would like to contribute, the mic is yours as we pass the mic to, if not, I'll pass the mic to Roy.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Mindset. I've been listening. Someone say anyone who comes up to defend him, he used some derogatory word, but me, I'm here to defend Professor Josh Amopita. And I have my reasons. If you listen to when he was in the Senate being screen, I will urge everyone to go and listen to what he said in that screening. I will urge you, please listen to what he said, then use that to judge him. Apparently, in the Senate hearing, he claimed in that video in the Senate that he actually pioneered the electoral reform that we have right now under Buhari. He wrote all those things and submitted. That was his testimony in the Senate. I don't know how true. I've searched all over the internet to find that document to corroborate with his testimony in the Senate. So, but if he could testify in the front of the Senate saying that he wrote about the reforms of the current electoral act that we have right now, I think is something big that we need to look into. My first reservation about when they started calling for was when the article he wrote about the Christian genocide came out. You read the brief, the legal brief he wrote, detailing the crisis bedeviling the Middle Belt from Taraba to Jos to Nasarawa, everywhere. I was like, okay, this man was born in this region. This was his opinion. Just like any individual, he has his biases, religious, tribal, and personal biases, that he has right to those opinions. And he obviously stated it. No one can verify for a fact whether they are doing a terrible job INEC or not, because we are using two things to judge the current INEC chairman. One, morality. Two, his technical capacity. So my question is very simple. Which of the previous INEC chairman is morally upright or has the best technical ability above Josh Amopita? I feel like we're using him as a scapegoat. This is my own opinion. No, there's this pressure right now from Arewa sheikhs that are saying you should leave because he wrote that legal brief. This is my own personal bias I'm pushing now. I'm not saying whether it was right or wrong. This is my own bias. Me, I will never stand against him. I support 100% that legal brief he wrote against the Christian genocide, and he wrote it to the international community. For this reason alone, me, I stand with him. I see him as an upright person. Now, whether this debacle of social media, whether it was fake or right or wrong, I urge us again, go listen on YouTube right now to the screening in the Senate where he claimed that, and if you have any document about the current electoral act that we have right now, that he was the one that pioneered the whole thing, wrote it during the Buhari administration, then it is important that we listen to what he has to say and listen to everything, all the questions he was asked, how he was going to handle the election, the mistakes about trucks about us not being able to get equipment to people, about networks and all the answers he gave, then we should use that to judge him. Let's not fall under the trap of people who hate him solely because of his religious opinion and pushing another agenda, thinking that we are doing Nigeria a good thing because hey, everybody's moral. If you want to be moral, then let's drag the entire government down, because even Tinubu himself is not clean. Even the INEC himself has mindset, the entire structure. But we are trying to scapegoat one person, just one person, one. So let's drag the entire structure down. If we really mean to be morally in this country, let's drag all government, including the Senate president, everybody on our government, let's drag them down. Don't just go and protest because of Joshua Mopita. Protest the entire government until protect the entire country to break down. Let's break the entire structure, including all the churches, bring them down, bring all the mosques down too, because all these places are filthy. That's my opinion. I yield.
All right, thank you, Dr. Pro, for your submission. Nobody's bringing any church or any mosque down, but if anybody wants to do that, they should take it away from the platform. Now, some people respect your view. You have every right to air your view, but the angle you're heading to, I'm going to respond to some of the things you said. When people said that he wrote against Christian genocide, he did not see myself. I believe one or two individuals here speak about it, right? When people were saying he should resign because of what he wrote against the Christian genocide. Did you hear me open a space to discuss him? God, that question is for you, sir. Did you hear me?
No.
Okay.
But that was the beginning.
1 minute. No. It doesn't matter whether it's the beginning or the end. The simple answer is no. So let's not, because I like to address what you're saying. I've had this thing that you said from some other person, right? Now, I hosted a space about the Christian genocide for at least 8 weeks. Roy, you can confirm that. I worked on some of these projects. So the argument here is not about what he wrote about the Christian genocide. No. The thing here is someone like, let me speak for myself. The reason I believe he should removed from the job or he should resign is because he has compromised the position. That has nothing to do with Christian genocide. You see, the problem we have is religion and ethnicity. And if we don't take time in this country, this is the only thing that will continue to divide us. If you think the Ariwas dislike him, that's between him and the Ariwas. I'm not an Ariwa person, right? So whatever he wrote about it, that's got nothing to do with me. My position here is the man is compromised. Are you not telling me it's the Ariwas that made him grant that interview on Arise TV? Was it the Ariwas that said to him, okay, please go there and remove the name of what's the name? What's the name of the chairman of the ADC? Dr. A, help me out with your property chairman.
Senator David Mack.
David Mack. It was the Ariwas that made him do that. Was the Ariwas that went on a tweet and said victory is sure? Was the Ariwas that argued that the tweet does not belong to them? Why do you want to make it look like it's the Ariwas that the ones doing this? The Ariwas might have something against him, which they have the right to, but that is not the bone of contention. The bone of contention here is Amupita as an individual, as a professor, is compromised. Okay? So, but you have every right to defend him. You have every right to defend him. Thank you very much, Dr. Crook. If there's any other thing you would like to respond to, please do raise your hand, and I would gladly pass the mic to you. Roy, go ahead before I go to Ayodele.
Thank you, Michael. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes.
There is a noise in your background.
I've moved
Roy.
away from there. Is it better?
Much better.
Okay. Yes. So I was just going to urge us to be more circumspect, and we always have to be honest. Nigeria is really, really complex, and for a country to as great as Nigeria can be, to be where it is now, it's not surprising to hear some of the things we hear. We have so many things to fix, if we're being honest, but we cannot fix it all at the same time. So mashing so many issues together will not do anyone any good. Amopita may have been historically clean and saintly even, maybe, but we are talking about what he has done right now. The honor that he should have done was to come out and say, yes, this is who I was back then, because it is obvious to any discerning person what the truth is. just to give you an example, the person called King Leopold, people know him. I mean, now if you mention his name, there's what is associated with him. But before then, he was considered a savior of the Belgian people. He was actually called savior. Christopher Columbus, only recently, through scholarly work and research, they found that he was actually a brute. He was very, very brutal. But many Americans would cite him as a hero. So even if Josh or Moffitt, right, even if he did good with the Christian genocide, that is one issue. That's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about partisanship for a responsibility as big as INEC chairman. He should be partisan. No human being is 100% uh, objective. We all have our biases, right? But like we said from the start, it is owning up to it. Because if you put me there as the INEC chairman, for who I am, Roy, I will not take it. But if I do take it, everybody will know which side I will lean on. It is now left for me to prove that what my responsibility in conducting my duty will be free and fair. What we want is that it should be credible, which is why we've been calling for a system in Nigeria that makes it impossible for us to have good people. We want to have good systems that no matter who sits in those seats would carry out their function as is expected. And if they do not, we should have checks and balances. Okay, you go. If Bola Tinubu as the president, INEC president, given 4 years, does not work well, does not do what they promise, does not, improve or develop Nigeria, we should be able to vote him out. The will of the people always count. Now, that is now a problem because the body that has been given that a responsibility for a free and fair election is now perceived as compromised from the top to the bottom. The INEC ICT director has shown a lack of honesty, a lack of integrity. INEC as an institution has shown a lack of integrity. Abu Putan himself, from the top to the bottom now, you see INEC is not giving us that confidence going into 2027. And that is the issue. What is the reality on the ground? What should have happened? Mindset, just give me a 1 more minute. To make anybody that is technical or not technical see the truth of this thing, INEC can call Twitter, the IT department of Twitter support, and say, give us the truth, give us the reality of this account. That is one thing they can do. They can go to service providers, give us the call logs of this provider, give us the screenshots of two-factor authentications. That is how you exonerate, and they should be the ones to do that. But if they do that, they should go to the right sources to get the facts of this situation. That is how to exonerate someone, not this wishy-washy explanation they've come out with. I yield.
All right, thank you, Roy, for your submission. Let's go to Ayodele, then we'll come back to Dr. Krok. Ayo, I can see you're here. Please, you let us know when you're ready to speak by raising your hand. Ayo, the mic is yours. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mindset, and good morning, everyone. Apparently, there's another Ayodele. So my own name is Ayodele Otufura. I think it's Ayodele Awe. Yeah, just before I make my submission, what actually prompted me to request for the mic was what Ayodele Awe said. I think the platform is for all shades of opinion, okay? And everybody is entitled to their opinion. It is totally wrong. And Mike said, I think you should have corrected him by saying anybody that comes there to, okay, go on.
No, I think I corrected him, right? Please hold your thought for a minute because it's very important that we address this. Ayo, Okunade, Peace, Dr. AI, and Roy, please. Okunade, can you help me out because this has to do with you? Did I correct Ayodele when he said something about you? Can you please speak briefly before I pass the mic back to him?
Yes, you were wholly correcting him when there was an abusive word. I think so, and I'm having a network. There's a network glitch here, a technical glitch. But the one I could hear you was when you were correcting that there should not be any insult or that I'm only making an opinion on my views.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other person that will support that? Did I correct him when did I correct Ayo? There's two Ayo Dele here. Please, can somebody help out?
Yes, yeah, this is the Dr. You did. You corrected him.
All right, Ayo Dele, have you heard it from Akun and Dr. Krok?
Fine, that's taken. Probably I missed that aspect, which is very good, because it shows the level of intolerance if we speak in that manner. I will always speak my opinion, but I will never use abusive words or call someone else's opinion foolish or stupid. It is not good. We are talking online. What of if we are talking face to face? Probably it will lead to a fight or something. So that taken. I believe INEC chairman is controversial, very controversial at this moment. Why am I saying that? The reason why I'm saying that is you can't set up an independent panel of inquiry or forensic experts with no name, there's no name attached to them, traceable, and release that report on your own. However, the situation might be, because it is right for anybody at this time, given the circumstances surrounding the timing.
Sorry, have we lost him? Hello? Hello?
Yes, it will seem so, yes. I said.
Okay, Ayo Dele, sorry, can you mute your mic, please? Can you mute your mic for a minute, sir? We've lost you for a minute. Let me help him. Okay. So we lost you, and I do not want anyone to misquote you. So if you're ready to continue where you stop, the mic is yours, sir. Ayo, please go ahead. He's raising his hand. Somebody help out, please. Am I still audible? Hello?
You're audible, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay, Ayo, your mic is on. Sorry, your hand is up, and we pass the mic to you, but you're not speaking. You're not saying anything. So I think what we need to do, I'm the one that will remove you, please. So you know, I will remove you from the space. Maybe you'll be able to reconnect when you're in a much better place. Do we still have any other person that would like to contribute? Dayo, please let us know when you're free, when you want to contribute. Sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Manson.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you always for your selfless, is it help now? So for me, right, I mean, to establish the fact that the tweet in question, that subject of investigation, is a very serious, matter, and I feel it demands, a more serious investigation. So I feel what we can do, nature abhors a gap, right? When we have a situation like this, ordinarily I would think, and that's my issue with someone like Rufai of Arise TV. You tout this forensic thing every now and then, right? And you've always called for an independent, investigation. I would think that 1, 2, 3 of the TV stations we have, they would have taken it upon themselves, to actually, probably get the service of forensic, auditor, if you want to call it, to establish the truth. because it will not be nice if a man loses his job, and then we later find out that the whole tweet thing, is not real. And I mean, we need to be careful in this time, time of AI. Technology has really leveled the playing field, and so for me, I just want to call for caution, right? Let's really establish the fact that he actually operated an account, and if that is established, then he should resign. He should resign, and this call for resignation should come from all political parties, including APC. If we really want to be fair, but we need a more serious investigation to be done, because all the things I've seen are just guys picking up the investigation tab on the streets, right? I would call for, okay, you know what, if we call it independent, is like I said, Electoral Umpire gap is because of the gap, right, that we have created, that INEC are now chosen to be the judge in their own matter, right? Going out to get, maybe a forensic investigator, and then they are putting out the results. So I would want a situation whereby 1, 2, 3 of TV stations will pick up the challenge, so that we know exactly what the nature of what we are dealing with. I mean, that's my own position, right? That before we call for his head, let us establish the fact that yes, he indeed operated an account. And how do we establish that? We need professionals that are independent of INEC. So it's because we have not done it. We have not done it. Maybe a social a group, for instance, they have not come up to say, okay, you know what? Let's take this up. Then INEC went ahead to So I would call for caution. Let us exercise patience. I know at some point we have good tech guys around. 1, 2, 3 of them will probably pop up and pick up the tab. And yeah, so that's my own position, boss. Good morning once again, myself.
All right, thank you very much, Dayo, for your submission. Let's pass the mic back to the other Ayo. We have 2 Ayos here, right? Ayo, please go ahead. The mic is yours.
Thank you. Sorry, it was a call that came through. So what I was trying to say in essence was that INEC can set up an independent experts themselves and publish the reports and expect it to be acceptable. It's quite controversial in my opinion. More so that the forensic experts, no name, they are not traceable and all that. That's not to say it has already placed the INEC chairman in a very disadvantageous position. But that's not to say, given the circumstances surrounding the timing of this issue, that's not to say that it might not be political, especially when the major commentaries we are getting is from the victims of those with affiliation to the political parties that has been injured, so to say. So what I would love to see is commentaries, professional commentaries from experts like Roy, point for point, based on what has been released, point for point. I would have loved if we can have that on this platform. Point for point, you counter what has been said. And the onus is now on, if the government is not taking the bull by the horn to set up an independent panel of inquiry, the onus shift back to the opposition identify, because I would think that the most reliable source of information to clear this controversy will be X as an organization. We need to have an independent reports with no hidden place for him to really prove that you are the owner of this account. These tweets were yours, and there's no hiding place. We need that. We need that. And lastly, mindset. I think you are privy to one or two people that knows the professor, and they've been friends. It's not as if they are friends. The friendship that started just now. They've been friends long time before. I would think that if I know you for a long time and I'm on Twitter, he's on Twitter too, they might probably be following themselves. Those are very good posts. They should be able to confirm, oh, I follow him on Twitter, he follows me. Everybody follow one another. So that's my own view. That's my own view. And lastly, mindset, if you don't mind. If someone speak and you are not familiar with that sort of name, instead of butchering name because it has become a recurring thing, it's sickening to hear to me as a person. What I will do is, for example, I will refer to what has been said by that person instead of me butchering. It's normal. We can't pronounce names the same way, but we can just do that to respect ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ayo, the last speaker. Now, here lies the problem, as always. If I have a new speaker who has not spoken already, how do I then address the person? Do I say the speaker that has not spoken? How do I address them? Please, if you can help me out, because we are all here to learn.
No, probably you have some set of rules of engagement there. Yeah, you can also make that as part of your rules of engagement. If I cannot pronounce what you have said, your name in a particular way, if I'm reacting to you, I'm reacting to a point that you are making. The gentleman that spoke about this, the lovely lady that spoke about this, things like that. It's sickening to hear, to me in particular.
Sorry, Ayo, you're not responding. Sorry, I apologize to the house. I'm not digressing. I need to address this. Sorry, yeah. Can you mute your mic, please? Thank you. I'm saying, what if the next speaker has the person that I cannot pronounce their name has not spoken already? What do I do?
Okay, you mean the speaker that you want to call to talk?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Maybe. Well, that's a difficult thing. I wasn't referring to you in particular. I'm referring to people reacting to a speaker. That wasn't. But in that case, you are the host of you'll find a way to pronounce something. My reference was to someone like me now trying to react to what someone else's point of view.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Point taken. So we'll work on that. Thank you for your submission. Okay. There's something you say that I would want to ask the house, please. If we have anybody, and Nathan, please do hold your thought for a minute or so, sir. I will come back to you. Do we have, apart from Roy and Big Sam, do we have any other person in tech? Because Ayo wants someone who is in tech, who knows about technologies and who's an IT expert, to take this point one after the other and to explain it to not only himself but to us. Do we have any other person who's an expert in tech? Sorry, everybody's quiet, so I don't know if it means I'm not audible.
I can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, thank you, Adaya. Do we have any other person in tech? Okay, so what we then do here is, Nathan, Nathan, go ahead, sir. Then I want to hear from Roy, because it's very important, since Ayo mentioned his name as an expert in that field, if he would look at these things and explain it to us, if that works. Nathan, hope that's okay with you, sir, right? Hello? Okay, somebody needs to mute their mic now. Let me know.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Do you want to continue with your submission? You want Roy to respond to that? I need to know where we're.
I mean, if Roy wants to respond, I'm fine to wait.
Roy, do you want to respond to that, or you want Nathan to speak? Then we'll come back to you, sir.
I'm happy to wait for Elnathan. I've spoken like 3 times already. So Elnathan, please, if you don't mind, go ahead and I'll come after you.
Okay,
Thank
and
you.
Nathan, the mic is yours, sir. Good morning.
Thank you, Mindset. Morning. I don't think this is about technology or about finding out from X. I think we've moved beyond this. This is not whether he said victory is sure or not. It really is about something more fundamental. You know, in a democracy, when a person is charged with conducting elections, it's not just the case that they must be impartial. They must be seen to be impartial. You know, like the popular maxim in law that justice should not just be done, but it should be seen to be done. The threshold is even higher for a person conducting, you know, multi-party elections. Now, the moment that perception is broken, regardless of the underlying facts, and nobody has a right to an INEC job. This is not he doesn't need the job to feed his family. Nobody has a fundamental right to be INEC chairman. Regardless of the underlying facts, once the institution they lead is seen to be compromised, where there's a compromised electoral commission, it's a democratic emergency, right? And so I think it's the job of this individual, you know, to recuse himself and to say, look, you know, how badly do you want this job? What is the larger consequence for Nigerian democracy, right? I think it was Professor Jibrin Ibrahim, senior fellow at CGD, who said that although the INEC chairman is relatively new, but in this very short time that he has been INEC chairman, more than any other INEC chairman we've ever had, there have been numerous instances of apparent partisanship, including targeting the main opposition party without any clear legal basis. So it's not one event we're talking about. It's a pattern, not just one tweet, right? Now, to the issue of INEC investigating itself, declaring itself clean, and Nigerians must move on, this is not reassuring to anyone. You know, it doesn't matter if the forensic findings are wrong or correct. They may even be right, right? The standard for an electoral umpire anywhere in the world is not even just the standard of like a criminal case, right? In a criminal case, you are innocent until proven guilty, and the burden of proof is beyond any reasonable doubt, right? For electoral matters, it goes even further, that there cannot be any doubt on the ability of an umpire to be impartial, right? And there are several, cases about this. But the last thing I will say, Mindset, is I think that there's a deeper structural failure, and why Nigeria needs, an electoral ombudsman, right? If you look at South Africa, for example, the Electoral Commission of South Africa operates alongside what they call the public protector. The Office of the Public Protector in South Africa is an independent constitutional office that investigates sort of maladministration across all organs of state, so that the state is not investigating itself, right? Including sort of the IEC, which is the Independent Electoral Commission of South Africa. So that by the time South Africans lose confidence in an institution, they have somewhere to complain to. Nigerians don't have that, right? You cannot complain to INEC about INEC. So Nigeria doesn't have any equivalent. And that's why there's a deep structural failure that affects the structure of economics. And just in closing, I think that Nigerian journalism is such a disgrace. By now, we should have had a concrete story that breaks this down. And all of the information that we need is actually easy to find, right? Open source intelligence has traced a Yahoo email address matching Amupitan's public university, University of Jos CV, along with an associated phone number to the X account. This is not something AI can fabricate. Those are things that are set in stone, right? So these alleged links are something that a journalist could have produced brilliant investigative work about, and that has not been done for one of the most important of, organs of state. And I'll stop here. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Nathan, for your submission. I think you're throwing the same line as Dayo, because Dayo said that some of the media houses should have gone out to do the investigation and, an independent investigation. But I have a different view to this. Please hear me out. You see, the problem here for me is, even if these media houses decided to do it, then you will still have some persons or the government come out and say, no, because this media house or this individual is biased. That's why they did these things, right? But the truth of the matter here is, okay, go ahead, sir.
Oh, no. Finish your thought. I just had a response. That's why I put my hand up. So that
okay. All right, thank you. So, but the truth of the matter here is, even those like myself who have no idea of what tech is and everything, going with the explanation of the INEC itself, not the INEC chairman, what they put out there yesterday, it's very clear to the blind that they are lying, even with their own investigation. It's very clear. So, Nathan, please, if you would like to respond quickly, so I can pass the mic to Roy to respond to the things that Ayodele said earlier on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I think the job of a journalist is not to sort of convince people. It's to provide facts and investigation. What people choose to do with this investigation is up to them. Like, a journalist can only do so much. The problem is that they've not done the basic work. Now, whether people accept this or not, that's a completely different issue. The issue is that Nigerian journalism complete, well-researched investigation, right? Then Nigerians can say, okay, well, we will find other ways of pressure on this person to resign. Personally, if I was running an office like ours, high trust for that office, and I had this back scandal, I would resign. But nobody resigned. Shameless.
What somebody have resigned? We remember 2018, right? Correct. 2018. No. Am I still audible? Yes. Is it? We know how somebody will resigned.
Yeah, sure. You're correct.
For yes, like, and then, so what we're going to do, I got this. Say that as the people. So, Ayodele, let me please hold your thought. You raise your hand. Let's hear from Roy. I'd like to hear his response to what I said. Roy, the mic is yours, sir.
Thank you, Vincent. So, if I remember what Pablo was asking was take apart INEC's summary of findings line by line. So, to do that, I have pulled up INEC's public statement with the topic or title Fabricated Twitter Account of Professor Joash Amopita San. And so, in that public statement, they've got a summary of findings. I agree. I mean, while I'm going through this line by line, I totally agree with what Nathan said. And you recall that I also said that this is not even a tech thing. It's a thing of integrity, a thing of us telling ourselves the truth. While saying that, we're looking at Amopita's reputation before now, but reputations are only what they are at the moment that they are tested. So every explanation that this has moved on from saying trust us, trust me, to prove it. Every decision now will be analyzed differently from when it was unknown. Every time taken to bring out explanation like INEC has done interprets into something, and every explanation must be tested. So to go back to the summary of findings, the first thing they brought out was that the Twitter account was created in September 2022. and their conclusion. However, there is no linkage between the Twitter account and Professor Amopitan's Yahoo or Unitrust emails. That is a big fat lie. It's not a tech thing. The analysis shows that the account is tied. I'm not saying it's Josh Amopitan now, but it is tied to his verified Yahoo and Unitrust emails. Because when you try to do a recovery of the account, just to in a matter of forensically testing it, it is tied to those two. Okay, so that means it was created with Yahoo and Unijust. And personally, I did say whether or not it was Professor Josh or Amopitan himself or not, it brings into question how we can trust our elections in his hands. If he cannot take care of his own accounts, yes, anybody can be hacked, even professionals can be hacked. But you have not showed us what you did. And if they're also saying, that takes me to the next one, to one of the points they made that the account was hacked. If it was hacked, when was it hacked? You have to give a time, you have to give a date. And then what was your response to it? If my account is hacked, I will report it. Who did you report it to? When did you report it? Because this has now moved on from saying just saying anything to proving it. Show us when you reported it. And it cannot be when this thing blew up. That does not cut it. The next thing they put in their summary of findings was that timestamp analysis shows that the alert 2026 reply, "Victory is sure," was posted 13 minutes before the original post by Dio Israel. And they said their conclusion is this is physically impossible on any digital platform. Well, we're not even talking digital because their conclusion is wrong. It is semantically wrong. We're not even talking technical, we're not talking physical, we're talking digital. And besides, the fact is, Dio Israel posted and then edited the post. So the account handle for Josh or Amupitan commented "Victory is sure" when the original post was made, and then Dio Israel edited it. So that is already wrong. Whoever they assigned this task of so-called forensics to do are told either amateurs or, of course, are psychopaths, and they just did whatever they wanted to do. The third summary of finding that they brought out here is where they said they did OSINT and they used the Wayback Machine. This, bear 1 second, I've lost it on my page. Wayback Machine searches shows 0 records of Joe Amupitan. But you see, nobody knew George Amupitan prior to him being INEC chairman, at least not in the same way we now know him. So there was no need for him for the Wayback Machine to have kept. The Wayback Machine doesn't keep everything, does not keep every record of every post. And besides, George Amupitan was not very active. So that too is discounted, as they were saying. Corroborated evidence shows that there was nothing like that, and the rest wishy-washy, 0 records of Josh Amupitan. That's not correct, because you have said it that the account was created in September 2022. And now you're telling us the Wayback Machine showed 0 records of the account before April 2026. You're contradicting yourself. So that has nothing, there's nothing
of someone trying to log in on your phone, and you have to authorize the person. If it is Gmail, maybe they will send you a code, a number, or ask you to press yes or no. So now that is by the way. And another thing is that in this whole issue, Mr. Mupiton has not come out. All this that we are saying, whether we are defending him, whether we are attacking him, all this we are saying, we are just saying it for saying sake. He has not for once come out, maybe on TV or via an interview, to talk himself about how the whole issue. Okay, I'm not the owner of the account. Oh, okay, I'm the owner of the account. He has not. So so you coming here to tell people to educate you or to defend him, you are I don't know. I don't know what to put. I don't know how to put it. He has to come out to say something before you can defend him. I'm the party to a case. I do not state whether I am guilty or I am innocent. But people are already saying, okay, let's give him a benefit of, before you can give someone a benefit of the doubt, that person must be able to talk. All we are saying here is shielding. INEC has been shielding him, and the ruling party has been shielding him. So until he comes out to talk, then it shows that he has no integrity. It's just a common fact. You don't need to be an IT person to know these things. It is as simple as that. Thank you, myself.
Okay, thank you very much, Ayo, for apologizing, and I believe the House have accepted your apology. Thank you. Let's hear from Folake. Folake, I'm just going to say this, right? I know you like to take your time, but we do not have enough time, and I don't want to interrupt, neither do I want to interject when you're speaking. So be very, very mindful of time. And if you have other things to say, I will come back to you as well. The mic is yours.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mindset. So my own contribution to this is that once again, I think there's so much like politics and bias involved in how both the response and the media and everyone is sort of like responding to this here. Because I think that there is just a fundamental set, like next step, like process around things that we're not like sort of like demanding for. I think this is a crime, right? If what is being alleged by INEC, what we're discussing here, we need to understand that under Nigerian law, this is a crime, right? We have impersonation, we have election interference, and we have disinformation. These are crimes. So there is a set of next steps that we should expect, right? I think the issue with this statement is that it reads more like defense as opposed to information. So I think as Nigerians, we should demand for full forensic reports, not a press statement. I think that is essential, right? Who is the forensic firm and expert that is going to handle this, and what is the full methodology of how it will be handled? We need to demand that law enforcement takes part in this because it's a crime for someone to impersonate to that degree. This is a criminal investigation matter from the cyber crimes department of the police down to even the EFCC. They should be involved in this. And then we, as Nigerians, we should be pushing for platform level cooperation from X. X should be able to publicly confirm, or INEC at the very least should be able to publicly confirm that they have reached out to X's trust and safety team. Because it's very easy to request logs and IP records that can easily solve and determine this. Like it's not rocket science. I think those are the things we should be pushing for. I think the jump to INEC is compromised. INEC needs to resign, all of that. We're just playing politics and yet once again, just being tools of the people who need us to make this emotional, make this chaotic. There's no reason for that. Some of the arguments that they've laid out as their defense are strong. Some of it are very weak. It's 50-50. But then again, we should not be dealing with this from a sort of hearsay, who says what. There should be a methodology to how we address this, because there is legitimacy to the idea that if someone is not in the good books of the people for whatever reason, someone can just impersonate them and then they lose their job. This is not something to joke about or to even politicize. It should be addressed properly. So that's my contribution.
All right, thank you, Falake, for your contribution. You said that INEC has to do, or there has to be an investigation, a cyber security expert. But that's exactly what INEC said they have done. They didn't just put out a communique, right? I'm not sure if you have seen what INEC put out there. Please, somebody need to correct me if I'm wrong. What they put out there is the findings, right? Can those in IT help out?
Mindset, I think she is right in a way, because even though they claim they have done the forensic investigation, what she's asking for is a full report rather than a press statement. And I think that is correct.
Oh, okay, the full report of the investigation, right? Is that what she's asking for?
Yes, that's what she's
Yes,
asking
that's
for.
what I'm asking for. I said it's not enough to just put out a press statement. We as the public should demand for a full forensic report. We need to know who is the forensic firm, what methodology, the full details of it. This is something that should not be up for debate. It should be clear cut.
All right, thank you very much. You see, it's always good to have people who help out here. Roy, you raised your hand, and Neta, you raised your hand, so I'm not sure who we should go to first.
Big Sam and Elneta were ahead of me, so they can go before me.
Okay, I can't see Big Sam raising his hand. Okay, Nathan, let's hear from you. I thought I saw Dayo here as well. Nathan, please go ahead, sir.
I mean, Big Sam can go. I went not long ago, so Big Sam can go. And then
is Big Sam raising his hand?
Yes.
Yes,
oh,
he is.
Okay, sorry, sir. I apologize. I can't see it. The mic is yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mindset. I would like to add something in what Roy said when he was explaining what INEC put out. There is no.
We've lost Sam.
So we lost him, right? Okay.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Okay, then let's go. Nathan, please go ahead. Then we go to Afolabi, and as we hope that Big Sam will rejoin again.
Okay. I mean, all of what we've just said, the past 2-3 commenters have said just reinforces everything I said about journalism. Of course, citizens can demand, we can, tweet and do all of that. This is where journalism comes in to really strengthen the case for the kind of forensic analysis, that will meet the standard that we want to clarify whether indeed these things were done or not. And so, of course, journalists are not just demanding, they're also going ahead to do their own investigation, because this is a thing that you can do independently of INEC. It's not, you don't need, access to his actual email to conduct this investigation. So, for example, one can make direct, one can ask, for example, X to make certain statements. People who, for example, live in the place where the corporation is domiciled can make freedom of information requests, and so on and so forth. And this is why I keep hammering on journalists and why, largely they're failing. And it's easy to even controvert what journalists say because of their track record, because of how partisan in general journalism is, and how they have failed over time. So Nigerians don't even really trust journalism, which is a shame, because this is really the last hope of citizens, where people who may not individually have the resources to engage in these kinds of in-depth investigation, or may not possess the kind of credibility that is required for sort of widespread trust in any sort of investigation. Even they're not able to do this. And so journalists, this is what they exist to do. You are not to just regurgitate press statements from arms of government or do the kind of nonsense that we see on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. So, I mean, we need to push. The journalists must, do their jobs. And I know it's difficult for everyone. Journalists are not immune from all of the problems of Nigeria that make doing just a basic job difficult. But that is the task that journalism demands from anyone who wants to engage in that kind of profession.
All right, thank you, Nathan. Okay, Big Sam is back. Afolabi, please hold your thought for a minute or so. Let's hear from Big Sam. That will come back to you, sir. Big Sam, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Mindset. What I expected INEC to do is to write to S as the owner of the platform, to give them the data analysis about the account that people are being argued at. Since this is a government institution that is being entrusted with people's vote, what INEC is supposed to do is to go for us to give them the forensic analysis of the account, when the account was created, everything about the account. And the INEC, when they want to publish out their statement, they have to put all those things out so that
Have we lost him again?
We have, yes.
All right, so it's not from us, it's from him, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay, then as we wait for him to rejoin, let's hear from Afolabi. The mic is yours, sir.
Good morning, Mindset. Thank you once again to join your space. I'm going to be very brief. And I think as Nigerian citizens, I think we need to be really careful in how we react to outcome of investigations, because it's seeming like people are seeming to be moving in the realm of conspiracy theory, like the Americans really land on the moon. I mean, INEC has come out with their own statement. They've done their own investigation, and they've said, look, we've passed this and referred it to the security agencies. So let's now move the searchlight now to see what the outcome of what the security agencies will come out with. So, I mean, I don't think it's ideal to slam the outcome of an investigation if it doesn't, suit a preconceived assumption of what the situation is. So we should learn to trust our institution a bit more. I don't see anything wrong with INEC statement. They've passed it on to the security agencies. So let's wait now for the security agencies. I mean, they are the ones. We've got the DSS. Yeah, I mean, these guys, they know what to do, and they can find out what they need to find out if they need to write to anybody. So let us now pass that on and wait for them to come out with the investigation. Is the way I would look at this.
All right, thank you, Afolabi. Folake, your hand is up. Then I'll go to Roy. Go ahead, please.
Sorry, Roy can go before me.
All right, thank you. Roy, the mic is yours, sir.
Thank you, Folake. You have totally shifted the paradigm. I thought it was ladies first, but I'll take this, no problem. Now, Afolabi, I don't know what your profession is, and it's shocking to say the least to hear what you just said. The issue here is of trust, and as taxpaying citizens, we have a duty to question when trust is the currency that is scarce here. You see, in forensics, just as in some aspects of law, as a matter of fact, they go hand in hand in many cases. Forensic has the ability, it is capable of exonerating even the defense in a case. So it is so exact and absolute, if applied correctly, that it can exonerate Amupitan, INEC, or whoever in any case. What do I mean by that? We see when they brought out this statement, they left so many gaping holes. And for someone like me that have spent the last 26 years investing in this kind of profession, it is a slap on my face to first hear what INEC said, what they did, and to hear you tell me to call it conspiracy theory. No. A medical professional will, or say a dentist, will not see you piercing your tooth, even if they don't know you, and not try to advise you to do it correctly. So to tell us what you're saying, Afolabi, honestly, is unexpected. We are questioning. We are not putting them in jail. We are telling them to prove things. We are seeing things that are not logical, and we cannot keep quiet. Nigeria is for all of us. If it gets better, it's for all of us. All of us will benefit from it. Now, you see, there are so many things we can tear apart in what they have brought out. As an example, the thing about the timestamp being impossible. If you go to Twitter, and if there's any credible forensic analysis who are calling for the report, why have they not brought out the metadata? Why have they not mentioned pixel structure? There are technical things they are supposed to have done, like compression or even decompression. What tools did they use to do that? None of that was mentioned. None of that is demonstrated. They just said AI, deepfake. Did you put it through any tool to give you that conclusion? No. There are many of my students right here on this platform now. There's one I've commissioned to do this and he's a Ghanaian, without any stake in this. And I can give even someone here, European, to do this, and they would laugh. From ordinary discussions we've had over tea, it has been an embarrassment. So to say it is conspiracy theory or that we are politicizing is an insult, Afolabi, respectfully. There are so many things they can do to exonerate INEC and Amupita by putting this through a very thorough and robust forensic process. They can also, as many others have mentioned, it doesn't have to be technical. You can speak with Twitter, the tech support, to bring out logs. When was this account created? What is it tied to? When it was created, what account was it tied to? If it is established that it was Amupita's Yahoo account and his phone number, that is already very questionable. Yes, you can still argue, as you can do in law, to say, oh yes, it's my account, it's my number, but I was the one operating it. But you see, that even raises more questions. And that is already established forensically, that it was his Yahoo account, it was his Unijust email account, it was also his phone numbers. INEC has done more disservice to that. There is nothing wrong with being partisan. What is wrong is to now try to deny your conflict of interest. Everybody is partisan, like we keep repeating it. But now I am the INEC chairman, I am dropping my partisanship. I will show you that the elections are credible, that's all. But each step so far has brought more questions, and now it has gone beyond trying to redeem it. He just has to resign. That is just it. That is what differentiates a sane country from another one that doesn't want to go in the right direction. It is that integrity. There is nothing wrong with being partisan. There's everything wrong in what they are doing right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Roy, for your submission. You see, this is why it's good to have experts on the platform, right? And Roy is an expert when it comes to IT, okay? We have Neta, who is a lawyer, and we have Ayodele, I believe he's an accountant. Please, Ayo, correct me. You're very good in correcting me. And other persons who have their, what they are good at. Now we learn about timestamp and IP address and all these things, right? From the expert who has told us that whatever INEC is putting out there does not make sense. There's nothing to do with conspiracy theory. The truth of the matter here is INEC has compromised the situation. And the INEC chairman, in my view, should quietly, respectfully get out. Falake, do you want to speak now? If not, we do not have any more person. We should round up quickly then.
Yeah, I wanted to just say that. So, Afolabi, I'm with you in terms of the conspiracy theory culture that we currently have in the political space. That's like something that has really bothered me of recent. Like even amongst the media, like there's so much lack of due diligence in the things that are being said. But I think where I disagree with you is in the thing of trusting the institutions. I think this sets a precedent for how election disinformation should be handled moving forward. I think it's not something to be taken lightly. I also disagree with the people who are asking for resignation. I think that's politics, and I think that that's a jump. resignation on what basis? I hear you, Roy, and I know I don't want to go into long details because we're out of time, but the idea that the statement that INEC put out is simply some of the points you mentioned are also debatable. Like when you talk about things like you gave an example of like, oh, it doesn't make sense that if someone was impersonating the INEC chairman, that they'll make their account private and change their name. That is debatable. The forensic thing that they put out saying that they were unable to trace the number back to them, that's also something that is actually, if they expose the methodology behind how they arrived at that conclusion, can also be a strong premise to show that it's not belonging to the INEC chairman. So to simply just fire someone or fire someone at will, that doesn't make sense. I think what we should be demanding is like what I said earlier. We should be demanding a proper and thorough thing done. If you've done your own forensics, bring out the full report and let's see the methodology. And you're saying you're involving the security agencies. That's a good thing. Let's the public in on more information on what is happening to that end. Ask from X, who is behind this account? What are the details of this account? The IP, like all these things are things that we should be demanding for first and foremost, not the jump to resignation. Like that is for me such a political statement. It has no. It's just like someone just says, "Oh, I work at my job now." I can imagine someone framing me, and then all of a sudden I lose my job. Like even in terms of normal human decency, that's not how things work. I get you, and I get that you might be inclined to believe that the INEC chairman is behind the account. You have every right to that belief, but it should be proven so at least maybe reasonable doubts, right? Maybe not even beyond reasonable doubt, maybe just a bit more, flesh it out a bit more. I think that's what we should be demanding for. But I don't think either side, the people who are saying that this is simply we should trust the institutions or whatever, I don't think they're correct. I think that's kind of like almost a lazy approach. And I don't think the other side, the other extreme of demanding that they fire someone based on your beliefs or your analysis of something that is clearly incomplete is also valid. If election disinformation is a serious issue, and as we continue into the election season, we need to set a precedent for how it will be handled on both sides, the APC, the ADC, whatever party. I see different forms and variations of what we will tag as agenda. It's almost become cultural, but I think we need to move beyond that. How do we, who try to be more rational, how do we demand for something that goes beyond that? So I don't think there's any reason for the INEC chairman to resign. If it is proven clearly that this is his account, then I think we can have that conversation.
Okay. Thank you very much, Falake, for your submission. Okay. Before I pass the mic to, all right, let me pass the mic to Roy and Kolade. Then I'll be able to respond to some of these things that have been said on the platform. Thank you once again. Roy, the mic is yours before we go to Kolade.
Thank you, Vincent. Sorry, I seem to feel as if I'm hogging the mic, but I just want to respond to Falake. Falake, you responded to a number of things I said, but you missed out on the whole things that I said. So before I went ahead to say he should resign, I mentioned some of the things that are already public knowledge that already show him compromised. The account, does the account belong to Josh Amopita? Were those posts authentic? Was there a takeover of the account? And all of those things. The account was opened with his Yahoo email. That is already confirmed and is public. Is his phone number tied to that account? That has already been established as well and is in public. Okay? And I did say, when I mentioned those, I said whether or not he was operating the email tied to the Twitter account, the phone number tied to the Twitter account or not, it already points to the fact that he cannot be trusted with coordinating elections, apart from partisanship, the issue of partisanship. Also, this culture in Nigeria that oh, if I lose this appointment, I don't have any livelihood anymore, is a big problem. If Josh Amokutan is no longer chairman, is it that we don't have anybody else competent enough to take that position? It can be settled anywhere else. It can be settled anywhere else. But when trust is the issue, we should be able to say no. So calling for his resignation is fair and just in the circumstances. That position is not something, it is going to decide the future of over 200 million people. Like many people have said before me, it can even be Sheyi Tinubu that will be INEC chairman tomorrow. That is fine, as long as he can show us that he'll be non-partisan. The thing is trust. If he can do a credible election, George Amopitan has already failed in that regard, unfortunately. So that's the point I wanted to make. Thank you.
Okay, let me respond to. Okay, Kolade, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Since you have not contributed, go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Mindset. I greet everyone. Thank you, Roy, for that submission. Okay, this is it. Citizen has the duty to call for Josh resignation. That is the duty of the citizens to demand, and it's done all over the world. When they see things that they are not okay with, they ask the person to resign. But ideally, in a sane environment, by now, Josh would have been put on the suspension, he will have stepped aside for proper investigation, because he's involved in this. Like, you can't be a judge in your own case or your own matter. So, and if INEC is coming out to say, oh, we employ the service of a forensic expert, and this is what they said, and the public already punched in what in quote a forensic expert that we don't know about, that that what they said, they already punched in it. The timing is not like someone is just trying to just to cover up things. That even makes it worse. So for me, it's very simple. Because Nigeria mindset, it is the duty of the police to handle this, because not me, not you, nobody here can really subpoena X to get the data. But if we're in the same country, if the National Assembly today sit and say we are getting on this, they can get subpoena, they can go to court and get whatever, and they throw it to X, and X is going to give you all conversations, everything from as far as you want it, who opened it, what account, when, what you get, the IP addresses, everything you need. But because we can't get it, and those that have the authority to get these things, they are like working to cover things up for INEC. And that is why it baffles me, the way you see a political party and their supporters like defending or taking sides on things that affect every one of us collectively. I think by now we should all be saying, George, step aside, let proper investigation be done. And if you are found not guilty, or you are found whatever, fine, you can come back if times is still on your side. And if not, and for George himself, so it just doesn't make sense. If you say, are you saying you said you were impersonated? So if you were impersonated and all this happened, that's a different ball game. That's a different thing entirely. What we know as that today, except is admitting to that an account that was opened with just credential did this. And because he did this, that judge must step aside. So it's a different thing. You then admit that was done, but again, I was impersonated. And then they can now go investigate when and how you got impersonated. But now you are claiming you were impersonated, and you are also trying to claim that and those things were not real, that they didn't, like, the person who impersonated you did not make that post. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So again, let me just drop you right there, Mindset. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kolade, for your submission. We have facts, and we have Abubakar Ali, and none of them, both are on the speaker section, but they are not raising their hands. So,
Mindset, yeah.
My hands has been up, Mindset.
So whose hands have been up? Somebody needs to help me out, because
both their hands.
Seriously, I apologize, Abubakar Ali. The mic is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mindset. Good afternoon, everyone. The thing is, I have like kind of 2-3 divergent view on this thing. To say that we are not going to trust our institution or something, I would like to move away from that. At least, no matter what, we should have a little trust in this process, because now we're talking about maybe the INEC is compromised. Is it like in its entirety, the whole body is compromised? Because this is the same institution that, okay, we have been using as Nigerians to vote in people that we want, and sometimes it's politics, sometimes we get victories, sometimes we don't. But there ought to be that level of trust, even if it is minimal. They have to be. And it is not what we're getting now. I don't know the conclusion, either it is true or not, but what we're getting now, we cannot separate it that there is no bit of emotion or politics attached to it. If I throw the question, when have they not called for resignation of INEC chairmen? Right from the Jegas, the Yakubu Mohammed, and the Amupitan, when have they not called for resignation of INEC chairman? So does it just sound now like, okay, if we don't sit right, I'm not supporting anybody, but does it just sound like, okay, if it doesn't sit right with us, with our political views, then the easy and the most cheapest thing to do is just to call for the resignation of the INEC chairman, even when, okay, these investigations are still going on. I'm not going to agree with that of the INEC, because just like we have baristas there, like they say in the law mags and the mojuzas in Council, you can't be a judge in your own case. But then we should call for more independent body to carry out this forensic research before we'll be able to trust it. But that's aside, calling for all this resignation, no, the INEC chairman has collected money. We are spreading this information for the larger population of Nigeria are the ones that don't even know, can't stay and verify these facts, the ones that are right where INEC is right, or the ones that where INEC is wrong, they don't even stay to verify. The common person on the street will just like INEC don't collect money and they're just going to do their job. Sorry about that. So we are passing these things, and these people are actually continuously losing trust in this institution. So I believe we should. There have always been a call for INEC chairmen to resign. When is that going to stop? Does the whole organization or the institution, does it need to be restructured? Like the example that El Nathan made reference to South Africa, a public protector office or something. Is that okay? If we don't truly trust or even like the structure of the institution, we should call for the full restructure or something instead of going for the cheap this life. Doesn't sit well with us. They have always been that. So I'm not going to say there is no bit of emotion and politics to that. And I'm going to conclude with this question, right? Every technical or IT something is vulnerable. Just look at what happened in Brussels. Brussels just announced that, okay, there's the age checking app. It was announced by the ambassador that it is unhackable, and hackers came out and said it will only take them 2 minutes to get into the system. There is no system that is not vulnerable. And let me ask, can you like tamper with email accounts? Can you hack email accounts? Or can you hack phone numbers? Can you hack WhatsApp accounts? If yes, that these are actually things that are vulnerable, then nothing is impossible. For us saying that doesn't mean that Yahoo accounts or phone numbers cannot be. I'm just trying to, like, we should not make it like, okay, it is something that is not vulnerable and cannot be penetrated. The tech experts and the gurus are here. We have little trainings about all these things, but of course they showed us. It's not as if the system is standing on its own and cannot be penetratable, and that's why you always go every day to update yourself and to update your security bypass and everything. So I just want us to be more still optimistic and not call for the total disregard or total trust of the whole institution. And while trusting on external bodies or external experts or ITC firm to check and come up with some comprehensive reports on this thing. That would be all for me. Thank you, myself.
Pax, please go ahead, sir. Pax, I can't hear you. Please, can anyone else hear him?
Hello, can you hear me?
It's much better now. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, sorry. All right, so yeah, good afternoon, everybody listening to me. Mindset, good afternoon. Thank you for always doing this, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on burning issues in our country. With INEC and Joash Amupitan. To start my submission this morning, I just want to point out that a time has come for us as a people to be strategic with our decisions, our plans, and our political involvement. I remembered a election where there were a lot of crises. Some
All right. It appears we've lost him, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see if he can rejoin, and so we can allow him to air his view. Do we have any other person, any new speaker? Let me respond. I can see Roy, Ayo, Folake, and Afolabi raising your hands. I'm not sure who's next to go. Okay, let's be very mindful of time. Let's hear from Ayodele. Ayodele, not Ayo, not you, but Ayodele that raised his hand. Ayo, please go ahead, sir. Ayodele.
Let Roy go first, please.
Okay. If you're not willing to speak, then respectfully, I'm going to remove you from the speaker section because we do not have enough time. Roy, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mindset. I think it's I'll have 2 birthdays this year because people have given me too much privilege today. But thank you, Ayodele. I really appreciate that. I didn't catch the name of that speaker because I didn't see him as a speaker. I was just hearing him speak and saying things about everybody can be hacked and all. I think he missed the submission I made. He also missed a few other submissions and spoke without referring to those things that we said. And I want to pose some questions to him. I think it's Abubakar. I'm not so sure, but someone that spoke and said anybody can be hacked. I want to ask him if he has ever been hacked, and if he has, or if he knows what happens when a hack happens. What will be the response? So if my account has been hacked, what should I do? And when will I do that thing? So where is that transparency? This is a matter of national interest. If Apopitan's account was hacked or attacked, when was it done? The timestamp, the date. And if it was done, even if it's today, how soon did he react? Who did he report to? Let us see that. Because it now has gone beyond personal. It is now national. So they have to be transparent. In the report, in the press statement they made, like we all agree, even Falakia agreed, that was not a full report. That's not a full forensic report. They've hidden the so-called forensic experts. This is not something you should hide. This is something that should be made public. This is who we contracted. This is how independent they are. This is how we even got them to be the ones to do it. Was there an open bid? Was there a selection? Who are on the board of the forensic? So all these things become important, but all of that is hidden now. And like I said, in this particular case, and the questions you asked, if your account is hacked, what will you do? And if we cannot trust him to respond, because there are so many things that this opens up. If his account was truly hacked, if his phone number was really connected to that Twitter account, that is already a big problem. Plus the response. When did he respond? Who did he report to? Because now Twitter gets involved. The email providers get involved. The phone service providers get involved. If I use, as I'm using my phone right now, an iPhone, if I log into my Yahoo account, they can tell where I am speaking from right now. The geolocation metadata is there. We will need to, all of this is open so much. So Amopitan has lost the trust of the people. And INEC in their press release have not made it easier for us, for any professional looking at it. Because they would have just done it one time. Why are they throwing crumbs? One by one by one, I will be asking for more. If they were being transparent, all of this would have gone. A forensic report is able to exonerate him 100% and to shut down critics. It will shut down anybody, and that's what we're saying, but they are not doing that. Thank you.
Okay, Abubakar, I saw you raise your hand earlier on. Do you want to respond to Roy briefly so I can go to Kolade?
Yes. Yes, please. Thank you, Mindset. The thing is, on three key issues, I also said that I did not agree with the report because I believe that there should be an independent body outside of the INEC to be able to come out and give us the reports and give us whatever the outcome of the investigation is. Then, secondly, I am saying that okay, if the Twitter account has been hacked, then these two things, the email and the phone number that we're all providing or that has been provided, that okay, it is because the account is linked to this, that means is the owner of the account and is the one that those other two, like the account and the email, can't they also be hacked? That was the question. And them also coming, like carrying out the investigation internally doesn't also sit well with me. And it is also the call of resignation, so that we have Nigerians and different political camps have been calling on resignation of INEC chairmen, not even from today. They back the Jega era, the Mohamed Yakubu era. So that's just what I'm trying to say here.
Okay,
Thank you.
Sorry, Mindset. Please, can I just respond quickly, please? I'm sorry to do this. Sorry, Mindset. If you don't mind.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. Abubakar, the call for resignation, we have to take it case by case, Abubakar. Amupitan's the reason why they are calling for his resignation is different from why they were calling for Jega. Everybody can have an opinion. Some opinions are correct, some opinions are wrong. The reason you by yourself as an adult and a Nigerian stakeholder has to decide right now, is the call from Amupitan's resignation today the same as Jega's call? Amupitan's call, they are calling for his resignation before elections even hold, because he has shown his hand, or there is perception, which later covered clearly, that in law and in conflict of interest matters, the perception is as good as the reality. And the perception today is that he's partisan. Thank you. Thank you, Mindset, for this. I'm sorry.
Okay, Afolabi, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Mindset. I think we need to be mindful of jungle justice, where everybody has, the whole mindset here, the man is guilty until proven innocent. But it's supposed to be the other way around. In a sane society, you are innocent until proven guilty. So we need to be mindful of this jungle justice that is being thrown around here. And people talk about this independent body. I think INEC has done the right thing to say, look, this is what we found. We've handed everything we found to the security agencies. I think those security, the security, those are the DSS, those guys are the experts. And I believe they are going to be independent enough. If what INEC is giving them is not correct, if they find anybody culpable, they'll come out with it. And I think as Nigerians, that's where we now need to put our searchlight. Okay, even if we're not happy with, okay, INEC has said something, we're not happy with it. Okay, they've passed it to security. Okay, everybody, let us put our searchlight on the security agencies to say, okay, you come out with your findings and let us see if it's independent enough, if it's thorough enough. But we need to move away from jungle justice, please. A man is innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around.
All right, Kolade, please go ahead.
Okay, so Mindset, I want to disagree a bit with Afolabi. So this is it. You said someone got compromised since 2023. Okay, compromise means they got breach, email, phone number. And this person is not running a private entity, he's running a public entity. So we, like the quote, let me use the word shareholders of that public, demand full reports of what happened, when it happened, how it happened, and what is the magnitude or the impact of this compromise. What else did they get from his email accounts if he got compromised? What else have they used his phone number to do? Okay, so there's more to this. This is just going to open up, more room for people to look more into what they are saying. So in all of this, while the investigation is going on, it needs to step aside because it's a national Like, this is a national disaster. Like, this is, I don't think people even know what they are saying. Even to even admit that he was impersonated, to even admit that, okay, he got breached, and I just taking it like, come on, we can do better as a country. So this is not witch hunts. This is, we did not breach him, but what we are saying is we need to protect, in quotes, our own national interest. We need to protect that. So that's what we are saying, mindset, or that's what I am saying. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Folake, the mic is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Mindset. So, Claudia, I disagree with you because I think, like, at the end of the day, your point about stepping aside, it's valid in certain institutions, but I don't think as regards to INEC, especially when you consider the track record of this being politicized, I don't think the right call of action is stepping aside, resignation. That puts the electoral institution at um, risk of disruption based on the whims of political actors. And I think that that's not good. I think what we demand should be expedited response from the security agencies, from the EFCC, from whoever is involved. I personally don't know why INEC put out that statement. I think on a political level, the people who politicize this or whatever, they're already onto a new topic or whatever. I think if they're going to put out a statement, then they should put out something stronger, something clearer. These are the forensic experts that we, independent forensic experts that we involved in this. This is why we involved them in this. Right now, as it is, even my disagreement with Roy is not in what he's saying, but it's in the logical jumps that are being made, right? Like the phone number can prove that, like, if you link the phone number to a BBN, it can prove that the phone number is truly yours, yes. But what we need is not the proof that the phone number is his. What we need is irrefutable proof that that phone number is linked to the account and that he owns that account. Now, that is not so, we don't need a logical jump. We need, like, clarity that, okay, yes, he owns the phone number. The account belongs to him. The account, you can check that it's like the IP address, etc. Like a robust, comprehensive conclusion that the account belongs to him. Their attempt at INEC by using account recovery and saying that the account recovery field is a valid way of checking if that phone number is actually linked to the account, right? So there are many steps that I'm not that are not like both on INEC's side and on the allegation side that are not clear cut, not proven that yes, that number is his, yes, that number is the number that is irrefutably running that account, yes, that number is linked to that account, yes, that IP address that was linked to that tweet is linked to that account to that account and it's linked to that number, so therefore it's linked to the INEC chairman. I think that sort of clear-cut story in linking and knowing who is behind the account is what we need. We need to demand expedited. We need to work quickly. The security agencies and X and whoever is involved, all the parties involved, in telling the Nigerian public who is behind that account. That's the appropriate next step. Saying that we should be disrupting our electoral institutions at the whims of this sort of like things, for me, I think it's because we're dealing with elections here. Like what the previous speaker said, Comrade Abubakar said, people can go to so many extremes. We're not dealing we're not playing games here. People are actually trying to get power. We're dealing with something significant. And yes, I know that Amu Pitan is not the only person who can be the INEC chairman, but this is not a good precedent for how to deal with election disinformation. It's not that every time there is disinformation that appears to be credible at first glance that we now then shift and move the INEC chairman or replace. No, that doesn't seem proper, especially in this time. I think we should demand expedited clarity from this. That's my opinion on this.
All right, thank you. Sam, please go ahead before I go to your delay.
There are some level of things we are seeing we are saying as if we are arguing a blind argument. I'll start for the
Okay, Ayodele, go ahead. The mic is yours. We've lost Big Sam.
All right. Thank you, Mike. You see, I'd like to ask a lot of questions, but I don't think there's any need to ask any question again because I have found out that no matter what or no matter the question I ask, some people will never shoot ground. They are bent on what they want to say. So I don't need convincing. But I just want to put it out there for those saying that it is because of political whatever. Now, what is the reason why this whole issue came up? What is the source of this issue? Now, since this issue came up, as the INEC chairman came out to either debunk or attest to the fact that he is the owner of the account. 3, the said account was created as far back as maybe 2022 or whatever. Now, by then, or as at then, no one, or let me say, the general public does not know Amopito as a public figure. So, with the little knowledge I have, hackers can't just target your account. Let me narrow it down to Twitter. Hackers can't target your Twitter account if, for me, you don't have much followers. You are not holding a very cogent or concrete evidence that is of useful importance to the state or to the nation or to your organization. And another one is that if the account was hacked, as Amopito came out at any point in time to say that his account was hacked. Another one, the phone number, the email, and everything that is clearly linked to the account is on the CV of the INEC chairman. Are we now saying that all these emails, phone numbers, and other addresses were hacked as well? See, these are obvious questions that have obvious answers to them. This is not the era of the Stone Age, unless we just want to be dribbling ourselves. And people saying that the chairman should step down or step aside while a proper investigation is carried out. I think that is the best thing. See, it is only in Nigeria that you be the judge in your own case, and it has been like that for a long period of time. Look at the case of Akpabio, when he was accused of, when the Akpabio saga and Natasha, during that time, he was made the judge in his own case too. And we know how that was swept under the carpet, even though whether it is true or false. But had it been that there is a set-up panel to investigate him properly when he has no immunity, then we'll be able to clarify. See, these things is a matter of national interest. It's a matter of Nigeria's future. Let's forget whether election is next year. See, election will come, election will go. But 200 million plus Nigerians will suffer or otherwise for it. So when we say we should do something right, let's not say it is because of politics or whatever. No. Let us do something right for once in Nigeria. Thank you, myself.
All right, thank you, Ayo, for your submission. Sorry, let me call you Osa, if that's okay, please. I don't want to butcher your name. The mic is yours. You raise your hand, sir.
My friend, good morning, every speaker and everyone on the platform listeners. Good morning. Yeah, you pronounce it very correctly, sir. I think. On this case, I always go with that. It is only the animal you don't know how to butcher or slaughter that you begin to ask, how do we do this? When you know it, you know how to handle it. This is computer age. Verification of such a thing to be a reputable company whose name will be at stake. Not this Nemo Jude a catastrophe becoming a judge there, okay. They're handing it over to another baby who will handle the situation and give you whatever the controller says it will give us. Who is the FTC? Who is the DSS? Like we are from the moon, when we know the system we are dealing with and how far they can go in their works. BBC just came out and they are looking for one Ariaga who declare results. And INEC will scare them that, oh, sorry, we were short of staff. We admitted some people to be, we didn't verify them. After they lied it from one school, is a doctor from there, whatever lecturer there, we introduced himself. So we'll see.
Sorry, please, sir. I'm not sure if it's from my end, but I can hardly hear you. But please hold your thought for a minute. Let me confirm from other speakers. If they're able to hear you, then you will continue, because I do not want anyone to misquote you tomorrow, right? Can you mute your mic, sir, please? Can you mute your mic? Thank you. Folake, Folabi, Abubakar Roy, Kolade, Ayodele, and Ayodele. Can you guys hear? Were you guys able to hear him clearly?
Not clear.
It's not clear. I thought as much. So if you're able to leave this platform and rejoin again, and sort of whatever.
No, you guys can hear me. I think I was in the place of echo. Can you guys hear me?
It's much better. Are you guys okay with that? Hello? Okay, that's right. Please go ahead with your submission, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So I was just, let me quickly update. I was just talking about this is an age of computer that when you are doing something like this, you bring up a reputable company whose name is at stake, that is linked to the same web, to do the finding of this. I don't need to analyze my own knowledge now. Let that company come, because this thing cannot be done in isolation. And that company will let us know. By what they did, I make their own codes and say, Nemo should be thinkers, you can't be in your own case. That is exactly what they have done. And they said they threw it to DSS and the FCC, and I asked the question, who is the FCC, who is DSS, who is the INEC? So they are all in one arm and in the face of one man or one government. So we are expecting to go and ask DSS what they scrutinize. And I made an example of BBC Friday at one of the rec, who presents himself as Dr. Ariaga. After calling the result from one school, that was where he's a lecturer. And after doing Friday, his name is not on the payroll or anywhere. And they ask INEC official. INEC will tell them that, oh, sorry, when we are short of people, the people that came couldn't scrutinize them anymore. So we have a place, like the last speaker said, we accept anything acceptable. That is why we could talk about things like this. It's not stepping down. If people are screwing you, it will be far more better if Amupitan stepped down as a son and a professor of law. And I'm even aware that he's even the professor of scientific proof and fact. So what he teaches as a lecturer, he couldn't even stand it in 1 minute. How long will it teach forensic technical analysis on this if there's a reputable company? Will it take them 2 days or 1 week to verify and put all the facts there with meta and all? Step down for 1 month or 3 weeks. All the prices will be published there. Your name will be written on gold if it's not true. We don't even need the FCC or DSS to go and do any verification. So you did something in a coded way, and you are publishing it in an open way. To me, it just proves that he's a man that does not have one iota of integrity.
Okay, thank you, also for your submission. Afolabi, you raise your hand. Please go ahead.
Yes, I did. Thank you, Mike. I just want to address this issue of the INEC chairman resigning. I mean, just before this whole conspiracy theory, because that's what I would refer this to, as from the day one when that man was appointed, the Islamic Supreme Council in Northern Nigeria called for his resignation from the day one that this man was appointed. Apparently, there was a court case in 2020. I don't even know what the details are. But from the day one he was appointed, the Islamic Council in Northern Nigeria called for his resignation. So something is not, I mean, something is fishy here. Something doesn't just smell right. Everybody is saying, we cannot continue to say this man is guilty when we have not allowed the security agencies to do their work. It is innocent until proven guilty. So let us bear that in mind, that from the day one that this man was appointed, some people have been calling for his resignation. So we need to be mindful of what is going on here.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a question for you and for Lake and any other person. When did this whole thing about INEC chairman's account having a Twitter account, what day did this whole thing blew out of proportion, in your own words, this conspiracy theory? What day? Do you know the date or the time or the month? Do you know? I feel like that question is for you.
I don't know the actual date or the time. Mindset, I have to be honest. I don't.
Okay. Falake, do you know the date?
I didn't even hear your question. Okay. You tripped off them.
I apologize. When did this whole, in the words of Afolabi, this conspiracy theory about INEC chairman having an account, when was that account discovered? Do you know the date?
The exact date? No, I don't remember the exact date. But it wasn't that long.
Okay, do we have anybody that knows the exact date? Okay, Ayodele, your hand is up. Ayodele, your hand is up.
No, I don't know the exact date, but it was after.
No, don't worry. No, I need the exact date, please. I need the exact date. Do you know the exact date? The 10th of April, correct? The 10th of April. Okay, can we figure out what time the whole thing started? Because I'm trying to prove something to everyone here. Your hand is still up, so I'm not sure if you're responding to what I'm saying. Can you please drop your hand so I know, for me to know is that okay. I am gonna remove you, so I don't. I apologize. I just wanted to do so. So this was on the 10th of April, right? Can you confirm the date?
Yes. Well, that when someone said to when you were saying that someone said to you, what someone was talking with it.
Okay, what day was that?
10th of April.
And what time was that place? I need someone to collaborate with you. I need someone to contact you. Because you see, when we talk about conspiracy, I'm trying to do something. I want to do yourself, Falata and Habiba. I want you guys to go back to the timeline and figure out what day that was. Right? If you can't, please, I'm going to give you a minute or so. Find out the day this whole thing started. Right? I want you guys to come back and tell, then I can explain some things to everyone on this platform. Okay? So I'm waiting for you guys to figure it out yourself. It will not be hearsay, because I've heard a lot of you guys saying, or it's conspiracy theory. It has to do with politics. The last thing I said was that, sorry, the last thing Afolabi said was that, what's his name? There's a lot of people who wanted this has to do with politics and everything. I do not think so. That the Islamic calling for his name, calling for his resignation. Absolutely, they were calling for his resignation. Did you hear me call for his resignation? Afolabi, did you hear me say he has to go? Because thank you very much. So I don't believe that one has to be because some persons want him. There are those private. I think you probably might know some of them. Okay, let me those raising their hand will help me. Also, what is it again? Okay, 1 minute. Hold your phone. I apologize. I thought somebody would help you with it. Right, what? You find out.
I thought the both other things I asked.
Okay, you raise your hand now, so I don't know what is it.
I said that was the deal. Before you.
Okay.
Before you.
All right, thank you very much. So when you hear people say I disagree because it has to do with the opposition. I disagree. There are those who believe in this part. This has nothing. These individuals have nothing to do with PDP or this or what have you. As I said, saying this is recorded, so you can play this out anytime you want. When Professor Amapita was appointed or nominated, I reached out to them. These are the people that know, these are professors that work with him and everything. What do you know about this video? The response I got from them, he's a decent man, he's a good person and everything. These are the people that know him before this, right? Now, the same individuals who told not the IP address and stamp are the ones they are actually the one that he has. Does that make sense to anyone? Are they, I mean, if somebody don't like it, somebody why would they say this? Why would they? Because I want you guys to understand this whole thing about it's nothing to do with that. The guy has compromised and he has to go. You want a better country, right? We must say the truth. It's full of Christian genocide. It's something the Muslims are not happy with him. Afolabi, you've been on this platform. I hosted a space for 2 weeks that has to do with Christian genocide. Some persons were not comfortable with it. They said that this is so much. Now, are you not saying that my position has changed? I want us to understand this thing. It's not difficult.
I'm not saying your position.
No, not you, sir. Not you, because I just wanted to continue. Right? Now, in the police and what you do, there is a problem in Nigeria, and I know we have a trust issue. Right? There's a trust issue in Nigeria. The why you and I on this platform this afternoon is because of what INEC has put out here. I would have discussed something about the topic for us, but INEC has actually made this thing more difficult than it was before by trying to use all these things to cover up. The conversation has always been about INEC chairman, not INEC as a body. But what INEC as a body, as an organization, has done right now, hold on a minute, we are with our chairman, which means they are all compromised. This has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with politics. You listen to Ayodele, the other Ayodele, he has his position. We've got to be honest about this. If you want a better country, it's hard to tell ourselves. Some people out there calling for him to go are the people who told me that this man is a good person and hopefully things will change. Why would they change their position? Because they felt that they've seen that he has done something. You have to leave right. This is not on. And we still cannot take it that this has nothing to do with politics. Okay, for like the mic is yours. You've got to be very much. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mike. So here's where I agree with you. I really think that the next put up with it. Just sat down somewhere and ate their food, you know. What I disagree is that I'm missing something how politically correct in modern times, right? Often by one strong word, it's often done by sort of like sacking many small individuals, together to make it good. I'm saying that we should resist that. We're not saying that every single person who is demanding for INEC reconciliation is operating from a political angle. But we're saying that that sort of thinking and jumping to conclusion and mock justice, it feeds the politicization of the issue, it feeds the political angle. So whether it's the people who allegedly might have created the account, that if it's an impersonation account, or who created it for the sole purpose of chaos and the sort of lack of clarity and a lack of trust in the INEC and in the administration and INEC chairman, whatever the case, the political angle is being amplified above all else. I think the position of the rational members of society should demand for a credible and without reasonable doubt understanding not to feed into the political angle. So my position is not that, for instance, you who have set up this space, especially set it up for politics, or that everyone is come here and we don't have to gain because it's from a political angle. The problem is that it feeds into the political angle. We live in very vulnerable times where misinformation spreads on this very sort of like approach where you snap up signals that point to a story as livable. And when you look for confirmation bias, there is so much open bias, just what I'm said about like fight for the day when you came on board. There's so much confirmation bias, both on an intellectual level where we're trying to protect our worldview and understanding of the current political sphere, or on a even political angle where we want to protect a narrative that we have. There's so many of that play here that we have to demand for more than that for clarity. So I don't think my position, I'll speak for myself, I'm not really in opposition to yours. I'm just saying conclusion. My conclusion is that more needs to be done and more needs to be done quickly, so that it doesn't keep falling into the politicized where it becomes a tool in the hands of political interests.
All right, thank you very much for that. And more needs to be done. But before that, more that needs to be done is done. This man needs to get out. You see, the thing here is we just try to do these things and try to wriggle around it. We've been accused of something. You're holding something in court for Nigeria. I mean, I think it was Eneta that said it doesn't have to be him. That can be someone else, right? A lot of things are pointing out that you have compromised. The best thing to do, get out. Let there be an investigation. No, he's not going to get out. He will be there for them and investigate himself. Now, INEC decided to go and do their whatever it's called by themselves, come up with the result by themselves. They didn't tell Nigerians, and we want to go on with this for crying out loud. And we want a better country. And we cannot see that something. No, let the police investigate what are we talking about. Before that investigation starts and everything, the guy needs to get out. Let them do their investigation. He cannot. The investigation is going on. Can't we see that the problem somewhere, guys? Can't we see these things? Oh, the opposition don't like it. Guys, let me be very clear. Because I know some of you would mention this. Oh, mindset is compromised. Sorry, it's biased. I always have my opinion on my platform. When the issue of Nasser El-Rufai came up on this platform, you guys know my stand. I said, and I stand on that what he said on the national TV is to be investigated. Ayo, no Ayo, Ayo, you're confirm that, right? Is Ayo. The other Ayo, where is the other Ayo?
Yes, mindset.
People were not happy with me. People were on the platform, by the way, you know.
I was.
Yes, I was on the platform.
Because you can't go on the national TV and say, know people that tap. No, there has to be an investigation. Are you not saying I'm backing? Are you not saying I'm supporting APC because what he said was wrong? And that's my stand. And I stand by it. And we as a people cannot follow what it is. Forget the not have those things, but we should be able to tell ourselves the truth. And to those who continue to support this man, we are not going to do it for the next generation. Mr. George Amukata, quietly, respect. There did not be any investigation, any other person wants to come. If you want to be a better country. Right? Thank you. Roy, you raised your hand. What's it again?
Thank you. The was supporting Ayodele, and you made a very good point right now. We are combining issues that should be combined because quite clearly, those are actually your spaces. When there were calls for the INEC chairman to resign over his Christian genocide, you know, investigation back then, the report, kind of, we said clearly that that had nothing to do with his job right now. We know it's a way of separating issues. And even right now, the fact that men is supported back then does not mean he can be supported now. That if you see, if you watch I think ICT director, he has not said anything professional to say, oh, I'm a director of IT. Everything has been political. So for them to come here now and say everything we are saying is political when clearly the evidence points to the fact that everything is tied to one popular, and it is correct to call him out. Everything he does so far has been wishy-washy, and not professional, very, very Jewish. Every logical conclusion is that it's tied to. So it's just what we should do as young people. We should do better than those that have come before us. We have a great opportunity to do that now, and all it calls for is not spending any that we have it is very, very obvious what's compromised. The INEC director, INEC director, the chairman, and the press secretary have all shown themselves. Why is one party not defending INEC? It should be so clear, so obvious what it is, but it is not. You're telling us it is conspiracy theory, you're telling us we should be more. That's what we're saying. That investigation will prove beyond reasonable doubt that even conspiracy theories should. Look at activists that just occurred recently. There have been notified others that cannot say anything. And for those who want to keep on talking about this fact, they have been laughed at. But that is a different situation here. You cannot call conspiracy theory because even those that supported it before cannot with good honesty and good conscience support it right now. We should just tell ourselves the truth. We should not judge his own case. Not even a lawyer. It's just incredible what we say right now.
Thank you. I'm still waiting for those who were supposed to come first to figure out what day that tweet was made. I see people raising their hand. Do you have anybody who wants to tell us the day this tweet was made? At the time. Anyone on the speaker section? Go ahead. You know the date.
It was April.
Of April. Okay, thank you. Falake, you want to is that the date? Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to say something I'm observing in this case is that people are conflicted with two things. You're conflicting someone, you're conflicting the population, you're conflicting them losing trust in the INEC chairman versus the INEC chairman losing the trust of the population. So you're already accusing him of something wrong. You're already accusing him of wrongdoing. Yes, the populace has lost trust in the chairman. That is losing trust. People have lost trust. There are people who have lost trust. That doesn't mean that the INEC chairman has lost the trust of the people. Like when you, it's just like saying that I believe so. I haven't ever that the evidence that I have before makes me believe that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I saw the bag. Those are two different things, and if you conflict both, if this is a conversation that the INEC chairman has truly done something, that is, he has done something to actually lose the trust of the public, then this is, I wouldn't even be on this space like debating anything. That would be an obvious conclusion. The point I'm making is that you cannot say because you believe in a group of signals that point to a narrative that that is enough for the chairman to resign. For me, that is just it's just frankly insufficient. Do let the it's not you Michael, you said the INEC group cannot investigate themselves. On a preliminary level they can put up and say, okay, this is what we have and this is what we do. That is why to our chairman for now. And this is what we need to do further to be sure that that decision is the better decision. I think the statement was fully done, and I stand firmly on that. But what I don't stand on is the idea that they are the ones who have to investigate themselves. Why? There's so many institutions in this country that are responsible for that. Like I said, what is being alleged here is a criminal offense. We have cybercrime acts in this country. We have laws that actually guide this sort of thing. Like if someone is impersonating you, if you're doing election disinformation, there are laws regarding this. This is not, I think it's not a narrative situation. It's actually a crime. What is being alleged is that the crime is happening. The institutions that should take this off, and the ones that take this off, there is no justification to demand that INEC chairman resign because you don't have proof that he did something wrong. And I'm saying that that is not even about this INEC chairman. Remove our mind from it. I'm saying in terms of the architecture and the infrastructure of our electoral system, I'm saying that we leave ourselves vulnerable to political actions if the bar of such strong actions like resignation is left to wings. It should be left to very credible evidence. So far, no one. What you have is a series of potential truths. There is no absolute understanding of the situation. There's no absolute understanding that is significant and how that is. It's not rocket science, guys. It is very, very, very investigatable and it can be done properly. It's not something that you don't need a degree in neuroscience to be able to figure this out. We have institutions, we have agencies that can be independently called upon to figure this out. If they now come with proof and say this account was run by this man and this is why we have concluded that this is the case, this is not up for debate. He should resign immediately. It's not even going to resign. He should be removed, fired, whatever the drastic situation needs to be done. But this is a case of putting the I don't know if it's the before that. I don't know.
Sorry, for I raised my hand because I need to run up.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
I raised my hand for a little time, so because I'm rounding up this list. The reason is not one reason. I want you to hear me clear. The INEC chairman has to decide. It's not only about the tweets, right? And I want to put it very clear. Make it very clear to you. I'm going to ask you a question. Have you watched or did you watch the interview he granted to Arise? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think, based on that interview, that he's a man who, in your view, is not that?
If I think,
No, 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 I don't have enough time. What's the point?
Based on that interview, no, I don't think.
All right. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. So when you say people have lost trust or he has not lost people, what does this have to do? Right? This is a man who was meant to be, not unbiased and being a neutral individual who will conduct elections. He went against the court order. There was no court in Nigeria, and there is no court in Nigeria told INEC to remove the name of this individual. Are you aware of that for like a year?
First of all, why reporting to
I'm asking you if you cannot, because I'm asking if you know, say yes, then I'll keep you to respond. Because the thing I despise, right? When we see the truth as a people and we run around it like make it a political thing. I said it here, and I'm very pleased that here, Ayodele is here, Roy is here, Onade is here. You were not on the issue of Christian genocide. At a point, some individuals felt that deciding some process, and it's always been a case, saying it's a problem, right? And I remember when he said that the INEC chairman has to go because he wrote something about this Christian genocide and everything. My position did not change. There is absolutely no reason for him to resign because before he was appointed, before he wrote that the article, he was not the INEC chairman, right? Understand my position. So if I wanted to do politics with it or decide, I would say, okay, this guy has to go because of the Christian genocide. I said, no. This guy wrote whatever he wrote before he became the INEC chairman. The problem here today, for like is the man in that interview decided to do the job for the court. And you cannot see a problem with it. There is no court in Nigeria. All of we here, Ayodele, we've all discussed it, that gave him the right to remove these people's name. And he was there justifying by saying, this did not happen. What happened is that what gave him that right? What gave him the right to do that? Okay. Or he's the INEC or he's following court order. Which court order is he following? We are in that court order that told him that Mr. George, you have the power to do it. The court says it very clear. Ayo, please help me out. What's the name of that thing again? I keep forgetting.
Maintain status quo and develop.
That's what the court said. But for like you cannot see anything wrong in that. It's not all about the tweet, because how we got to this tweet, let me tell you how we got to this tweet. It's because of that interview. From that interview, people were like, okay, hold on a minute, this guy is not, there's something here. He's doing the bidding for the government. People begin to dig in and find out that he has the interview. Right? Let me shock you. A very close friend of his actually tweeted something and tagged him. This is somebody that knows him better than myself, you, and every other person. Tag him on that handle. This is somebody that worked with him before we started this investigation. So I don't know what you're going to make out of it, but I want you to know that this has nothing to do with politics. And if you want to be a better Nigeria, this is the time to say the truth. And INEC chairman needs to quietly, especially get out and allow any other investigation to continue. Thank you very much. You want to respond?
Yes, I'd like to respond. So here's the I hear you and I hear where you're coming from. But when you're talking about climate position when it comes to the rival factions that we have in the ABC, the problem for INEC is which one of these is a legitimate working committee for the party, right? If we have various claims of who the authentic leadership is, which one is the actual prime member? Which one of them do we consider to be the actual prime member? Which one do we consider to be the actual candidate? If INEC is receiving conflicting submissions from the same party, the decision to say we will let the court decide this to figure out who is legally authorized to speak for the ABC. This is very easy to understand that it's only the court that can answer that. Right? I'm not a lawyer, but it's like common commonsensical. It's like if you're going to be the main opposition during the elections, right, then there has to be a clear understanding.
Falake, you're going outside the topic. What you're discussing now. What's your mic, please? Respectfully. Listen, it is not my position. Let me address this because I use that as an example because I don't want to discuss opposition and what I do. I use that as an example. Now, it is not my position to remove anything. Neither is it the INEC chairman's position to remove. The court has said it very clear. And you're saying, who's supposed to be there. It is not his position. It's the court that will decide. But he decided by himself that it is his power. He has the power to do that. You can see the problem here. You're saying who is supposed to be there. If it's not okay to do with me, neither is it. You cannot choose for INEC. So you cannot choose for the court. If for the court to make that pronouncement, it's going to say, this is the person here. Well, INEC chairman decided to do that. Can you not see the problem here? This is how we got to this email thing, right? That is where we got to where we are right now. So all these people, whoever their chairman is, whoever their secretary is, whoever their whatever is, it's nothing to do with you, INEC, the court make that decision. And so he simplified it for INEC. Do not do anything. Leave it the way. Okay. I don't want to move into this thing because you and I will be going back and forth and it's not going to help us, right?
Okay, quick one mindset here. Like, I'm not on trial. Am I on trial? I mean, if you're going to ask me a question, I think you should allow me.
No, I didn't. Sorry. I didn't ask you a question. What's your question? What's your mic? Because I don't want to be like this. I did not ask you a question. I wanted to round off with my thoughts, with my position of the thing. Then you raised your hand. I said, do you have anything to say? That's not a question, right? I didn't say you have this and that, right? I want us to end it on that, but you want to put it in ADC, who is supposed to be ADC chairman. No, that's not INEC, right? You're not on trial, please.
Okay, so maybe when you play the space back, you will hear me ask me a question. Yes, I remember that I said I had something to say, but I was you didn't need to suggest, but you just had to say that you asked me a question about what I thought about the INEC decision to sort of like, for lack of better ways to describe it, disqualify the ADC.
Well, you've answered it. You answered it now. You answered that already.
Oh, no. When I answered it, I was answering sort of like a yes or no answer. And that's why I asked if I'm on trial. If you ask me a question like that, if I say yes, if I say no, then you are allowed to jump into your conclusion of what you think I think. Right? But if you give me an opportunity to explain what I think, then it becomes a more
okay, all right. Okay. No, you're not on trial. The problem here is, right? I'm very mindful of time. I'm rounding up with the spaces, and I like the fact that you like to express yourself. I do not want to forget, right? But the conversation will move and move into something else, right? So if you're going to respond in a minute or so, please, the mic is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for answering. So yeah, I mean, like you said, we don't necessarily want to go into the debate of like the however, from me, from a political standpoint, the you have rival factions who are fighting candidates, and the process determines who has what and who determines what. We don't need your conclusion over here. Figure out your internal crisis, and then have clarity on who's representing who's if the validity of the case is dependent on authority and sort out who has the authority to do what, then I have to sort of like temporarily sort of like disqualify the situation. So I think for me that's a very logical standpoint. Right? I think there's a lot of passion and effort we have in the what's it called, the party, the ADC that also influence how people sort of like process that. So for me personally, whether the INEC chairman is biased or not, whether or not he is partisan or not, I think those are very legitimate questions. But I don't want them to, for me personally, to be answered based on bias. It should be answered based on evidence. And the point to how we should get the ADC report is not evidence. And this is the closest we have to suggesting that, but even this is not concrete.
All right, I'm going to respond to this. Guys, be here with me. Because when I hear things like this, it just make me feel I would you listen to Femi Fala now, right? Talking about this, I'm not a lawyer, and I do not think there's any lawyer on this platform. Other lawyers we have spoken about it. Saying, oh, the INEC chairman should have, because there is this faction and this thing. He has no power to do so. He doesn't have that power to do that. That's one thing for like you first understand here. The power to remove people here is not in his. He hasn't got that power. The court has to say to him, as it stands right now, for like it should be put, it should be the person on that photo. He has no power to do that, but he decided to do it himself. So saying that, oh, you look at it and say, okay, why shouldn't be on the platform, collective be on the platform, you know one thing, let Roy control the platform. That's not the thing. He has no power to do what he did. I don't know how to explain this to you. It's not a power, it's not a question of, oh, he tried to help them out. He's not helping anybody. He's helping the APC. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Lawyers have argued with it and said, this man shouldn't have done this thing. This is where we got to people trying to figure out, where is he living? Where did he decide to do this? And he used a Latin phrase, anti-venom. So I want you to understand that he wasn't doing anybody any favor. But he decided to take position, and then he has landed him where he has landed him. If he left the whole thing the way it is, perhaps the court will decide and say, Matthew Balagon is the real candidate or the real chairman of AD. What else are we going to do about it? Talk about it for a day and we'll move on. Because the court have made it pronounced, and there's nothing else we can do. The court have taken a stance. But no. Professor George said, no, the power belongs to me. I'm the Almighty. I will decide for the court what the court has to do. Can't you see the problem there? Can you not see the problem, Akolaki? You're not on fire, please. I don't want you to feel like you're. I don't want you. I just.
The thing you're saying that I don't understand is exactly what he didn't do. Like the position they took is not the position of the court actually. Like the INEC is not supposed to interfere in party issues. They're not supposed to. They have no right to do that. You cannot give power of who gets to nominate candidates, who gets to do what. That's not INEC's position at all. So that's exactly what they did. They said leave the court and use to sort out your internal issues. It's not that they didn't say, oh, that's a very good other. The INEC will not interfere in internal affairs. You're asking them not to do that, which is exactly what they did. For them to have continued to recognize the ADC under any faction, depending whichever one you support, would have been for them to be working against the fundamental rules in the constitution that says that it is there. So they didn't pick sides. They said, let the party and the court decide. That's why I'm confused. It seems like you're saying
Sorry for interjecting. Sorry. I have to. You know, when I'm passionate about something, I apologize. It did something. Before INEC took that decision, whose name was on the portal? Before the day they decided, for the past 2 days before they took that decision. So, okay, whose name was on the portal? You know.
Wait, please give me 1 second. Someone just walked in.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's fine. It's okay. As we wait for her to join, because it's very important we clear these things, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, people are taking side because the INEC chairman made a tweet. We cannot confirm whether the tweet. Before we got to the tweet, something took us to that tweet. I didn't know about the tweet. I didn't know whether it's timeline or not. But the man decided to open up his backside for everyone to see. So I'm waiting for Folake to rejoin. I want her to tell us what was the position before INEC decided. Oh, sorry, not INEC, Professor Josh Amaputam, who happens to be the INEC chairman, when he decided to take that decision that he shouldn't have taken, right? I'm waiting for her, please. Bear with me. She said somebody walked in. I want her to tell us what was the position before that. Roy, you raised your hand. What is it again? I don't need any help. I don't want anyone to help me in this. You know, I'm very passionate about this particular one. Roy, your hand is up.
No, I said I'm not going to help you. I can't. It's just that we are all stakeholders, so I'm just going to contribute my own 2 cents to it, if you'll allow me.
Okay, go ahead as we wait for Folake to rejoin.
Okay, all right. You see, Folake has been talking only partly to you, but on the other side. But at the same time, she's also showing a lack of knowledge or understanding of what happened. in trying to defend INEC and Josh, she's also exposing things she doesn't know. Because if you're saying INEC is taking a position, what position are they taking? The court said everything should remain as. If you compare what happened with the ADC and what happened with Labour, for a long time the court gave them direction to not recognize Julius Akure. But they kept recognizing him. Then all of a sudden, when everywhere went quiet, they took his name down. But on the other hand, the ADC now she's saying she's an internal party affair. But Josh Apopitan on his own, unilaterally, decided to recognize the other faction, or he recognized David Mark when he had no direction from the court. Now she's saying they are doing what they are supposed to. But in all of it is exactly what APC is asking for that has been happening. So why won't people say he's being innocent? Because you're doing exactly what the APC is asking rather than what the court is asking. So that's what I just wanted to add.
Okay, so thank you. I'm waiting for Falake to rejoin. You guys have to bear with us. At least let it know that we ended this spaces and she was not given opportunity to respond. Falake, please, when you're free, we're still here.
Sorry, I'm back.
Okay, the mic is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was your question was who was the chairman, right? Before the recognized ADC chairman. Is that correct?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ralph.
Okay. So you agree that it was Ralph. So why did INEC remove the name without any court order? Hello?
Sorry.
Is your line?
Again, I got a call.
Oh.
I got a call, sorry.
Okay, so Ralph Nwosu was the no, it wasn't Ralph Nwosu. It was it's not Ralph Nwosu. It was sorry, I'm missing things up right now. What's the name of the guy? David Mark was the person, not Ralph Nwosu.
Wasn't David Mark the one that they recently during their convention they made the chairman? Was it David Mark that they made the chairman during was it a re-election of him as the chairman, or was it the previous chairman?
Okay, see now this is why it's important that we go back and do a research on this. So before INEC decided to remove the names, the name that they remove is the name of David Mark. I mean, you probably need to take some time, do a research on it. This is where we are, right? It's not Ralph Nwosu, it was David Mark. So this is why people were asking the question, why would you remove the names there without any court order? Right. So I think the best thing to do is just to help us out and to educate us as well. Let's do more research on this, right? Then figure out how we got to this whole thing that everybody wants the guy to go. Okay, the conversation.
So sorry, I have a question, Mindset. Are you saying that it was David Mark that was the recognized INEC chairman of the ADC on the INEC portal? Is that what you're saying? That David Mark was the recognized INEC chairman on the INEC portal? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that was the name the INEC put on the INEC portal. So in other words, he was recognized by INEC.
I don't think that's correct. Sorry, can someone verify that?
All right. So okay, hold on a minute.
Correct,
okay, hold on a minute. Hold your thought for a minute. I'm not going to respond to this. I need
this is just
1 minute. Roy, please, just hold your thought. We have to Ayodele. Ayodele, your thought for a minute, not you. I don't like the fact you're using the laughing emoji. Can you hold your I wanted the other Ayodele. Ayo, I call him only talking Ayo. Ayo, are you able to speak? I know you're at work. Ayo, your mic is on, or you cannot hear you. Can anybody confirm if you can hear him?
Can't hear him.
All right. So I need a neutral person. I don't want to be the person to answer this question. Since Afolake wants someone to call out, please. No, not you. I need somebody who has no ties with ADC or any candidate in the ADC. I need a neutral person to answer. Ayo, I'm not sure why. Oh gosh, your mic is on, but we cannot hear you because you would have been the best candidate to respond to this question. Let's see. Can I find Aneta? Where is Aneta? Is Aneta still on the platform? At least Folake would agree that Nathan is not siding to anybody. Because I disagree with him, he disagree with me, he disagree with everybody. Can we get Nathan to respond to that question, please?
He's no longer on the platform.
All right, I've seen Nathan. Nathan is on the platform. Let me see if I can bring him up. Bear with me, please. Ayo, what's going on with your line today, Ayo? Now that we needed your help, you're nowhere to be found. I've passed the mic to Nathan. Hopefully he will return. I need a neutral person to respond. And Nathan is not here. Ayo, please try again. Try again, please. This needs to be resolved today. Gosh. Okay, Ayo, I'm going to remove you from the speaker section. Request again. Do we have any other person who is neutral who can help answer this question? Like I asked. Ayo, Dele, you raise your hand. I mean, she will not believe you because she will believe that you're siding to whatever you believe in, right? I'm not going to approve I'm not going to pass the mic to you. I need a neutral person to answer this question, please. It's very important. Gosh. Okay, anybody who's neutral on the comment section, put it comment. I will bring you up, and I want you to respond to it. Anybody who's neutral. Sorry. This is gonna take a long time. Okay, since we do not have any other person. Okay, Nathan is here. Thank you. Nathan, please quickly, if you can. I'm sorry to bring you up again. Nathan, the mic is yours. Can you please respond to the question? Folake, do you want to ask the question again?
No. I think I heard. Okay. I don't know. This is a bit difficult because I don't like, going back and forth with like manifestly dishonest people. But of course, like the records are clear. The names that were removed from the INEC portal was Senator David Marcus, chairman of the ADC, and Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola as the national secretary of the ADC. That was the thing. But yeah, I just generally think it's not very productive because these guys, they have they know why they're doing this. There's a reason why they're on here always. And for their sake, I hope they're getting paid, because if you're doing this for the love of the game, man, it's really sad. It's just it's a interesting way to use your free will. But yeah, generally, I think it's just not a good use of my time to like slightly beneath what I would normally use my time to do, to be honest. But mine said this is the answer.
All right, thank you.
I don't know why you're doing back and forth.
No, it's okay. Sorry, I do apologize for bringing you up. I know some of us are working it appears I'm a little. The reason I do this, and sometimes, some people would feel that why are you having this back and forth? It's always good to clarify things for people, right? So when people make this argument, whether they are getting paid or they're not getting paid, at least we can tell them that this is not the position like you have done now. So I really appreciate the fact that you're up here to clarify it, because if we did not do this right now, we would have gone home, or likely would have believed that the reason we hosted this space today is to make sure that the INEC chairman has to leave because of the tweet. And I tried for her to understand it's not only about the tweet. This started from somewhere. There's a place it started. So I must commend you. And if you want me to pay for your time, I'm quite happy to do so as well. Thank you very, very much for helping us out. But unfortunately, I know you would like to respond. We're going to come back to this again, right? Please do bear with me. I need to get on with work. And, it's been a very interesting.
Sorry, mindset. I don't want to respond. I just want to say something about what you only can say.
Hold your thoughts. Hold your thought.
Okay.
Hold your thought, because hold your thought, please. I know you would like to respond, but leave it for now. I'll give you opportunity, and I will do so, right? I will be back on this platform again. You give me a thumbs down. One thing I do not want us to do on the platform is this person said, that person said, right? I've given you enough time to speak, and we have interacted, and you have had an opportunity to have a debate with somebody. Okay, you're not comfortable.
No, mindset. This is repeated behavior. Elnathan has repeated
No,
behavior.
but you're not
I
being,
don't insult anyone on the platform
you're
or
not being
anything
helpful.
like
You're
that.
not,
Mindset. No, this
no,
is
no,
bad.
no, okay, that's fine. I agree, it's bad. Now, one thing I do not want us to do, right, is this, okay? You speak and let us speak. Remember when he spoke, he didn't mention your name. He said people that have been paid. Now, people have accused me of being paid, and you know what I normally do to those individuals. I don't know if you've been on this platform. If I've been paid for my job, I don't mind. I've been paid, so I cannot deny that I've been paid. But when I've not been paid, and somebody has been paid, you know what I normally do? I block the person and move on with my life. And I make sure that the person knows that I blocked them. Okay? So I don't think we should get to that point that people would start I'm lost for words. So, but you're welcome to be on the platform, and Nathan is welcome. We are going to continue this conversation with everybody. But the truth of the matter here is, right, we must as a people tell ourselves the truth and call out the evil around us when we see one. Okay? And I know people will not be happy, they would want you to respond, but respectfully, I will beg you not to. Okay? And you know my reason for doing so. All right. So what I would do is for us to remember, please, I don't want us to go back and forth with this whole thing. I just want us for the final thought on this particular topic. Please, I'm begging everybody. And and Nathan, I'll start with you. Your final thought, please. For like you have the opportunity to speak to give your response. We're concentrating on the topic. INEC is compromised. Nathan, your final thoughts, sir.
Mindset. I think I've already mentioned my thoughts. But Nigeria is generally this INEC issue makes it's a sad place in general because we can have this kind of conversation about INEC. As a country, we are unsure about where lines of morality and ethics lie. And poverty in the land means that there are people who would fight to maintain status quo so that they can continue, enjoying what they're enjoying. Generally, I'm too busy actually to go back and forth with charlatans that have been employed by
Sorry, Nathan, please, because this will now mean we're going to go back and forth, please. Okay, I'm going to end it now. I have seen something that I would like to respond to, and I've said it very often time. This is from, I don't want to read that comment today. Ijioke, right? He said, how mindset keep allowing this girl to gaslight us here is really an insult on us. I you the fall for her voice of our English. That's very disrespectful. And then you know what would happen? I will respectfully block you, right? As I said, everybody has the right to be on the platform. If you do not like the fact that she's here, that's okay, right? If you want to respond to what she said, that's fine. But one thing I would not take from yourself or anybody on this platform is why someone should not speak. You have the right to speak, okay? And you have the right to get out and go somewhere else, right? So I wish you guys well, and I will see. Sorry, okay. Let me approve Ayodele. I think Ayo is back again, right? Sorry, why are you here? I mean, I think I blocked you. Okay, if you have been disrespectful, you should get out. The platform is a Nigerian platform. If you don't like the fact she's speaking and you think it's not making sense, quietly, respectfully get out. Ayo, I'm approving your request. Ayo, the mic is yours. You dropped a mirror.
Thank you, Mindset. I don't know what happened. I think it was the network. Well, if you don't mind, the simple answer to your question was as of the time INEC took that decision, David Mark and Aragbeshola's names were on their portal before that decision. That's the simple answer. It's a different thing if you want the reasons why they did what they did. So I'll leave it at that. So my concluding remarks as regard this is INEC chairman's position as it stands now is highly controversial given his alleged link to the X account, and I'm of the view that whatever that needs to be done to unravel, to prove this case beyond any reasonable doubt. And anybody that can come should do. As it stands, his position is highly controversial. I cannot stick my neck out for him. And lastly, as always, I'm one of the advisors. Let's continue to be tolerant. If my view doesn't agree with yours or with anybody, please don't target bigotry. Don't look at my name and conclude that I'm a bigot. The beauty of this type of discussion is to have all shades and all opinions should be welcome. Before you know it, you can pick one or two good things. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ayo. You're welcome to be part of the platform. You've been with us for a long time, and every other person is welcome. The oldest person on this platform, not by age, but in terms of following the platform, is Roy. Roy was here when we started this whole thing in 2021. And for some reason, quite a number of persons that a lot of people think I'm very close to, you don't see them on the platform. There's a possibility tomorrow for Lucky will decide that this platform is not for her. She will go. I don't know why Roy is still here. Anyway, Roy, you have to tell me why you're still here. And maybe Afolabi will decide tomorrow this platform is not for him. He will go. Ayodele will decide. People go, soldier goes, soldier comes, right? Barak remains. So if you're not comfortable with the people I have on the speaker session, we'll preferably go somewhere else, but I'm not going to kick anybody out, only if they give me a reason for me to kick them out. Roy, thank you very much.
La la la.